we're just gonna like act yourself, act yourself.
Okay,
But
okay.
but so we're live. So is this your first live, or well, you went
No,
live? I know.
I did the live last week, and I also went live with Linda B
Oh, I love
before,
her.
and we colored a page. We did a buddy color on her live,
Oh,
and
that's
then
nice.
after that I went live. And yeah, so I think this is number 3.
So we have people in the chat. I have to check. I have to look at mine. I'm nearsighted, guys, so I have to see who's here. Linda B is here. Hello, Linda B.
Hi Linda. Did you hear me talking about you? Or your ears burning?
Yeah, right. And let me give her a wrench because I like, she's a regular. So if you give people a wrench, they can, be a moderator for you. You know,
Oh, how do you do that?
well, do you are you using a computer or your cell phone, like your camera?
Um,
What is
computer.
that? Oh, that's a
Okay.
computer.
Uh-huh.
So if you do it on a computer, you right click on their name and choose moderator.
Okay.
On your live, and
Right, right.
if you're looking at them on the phone, you just click on their name and then it'll pop up, with your finger, obviously, and you pop up. It pops up and you make them a moderator. I thought I made you Oh, there. Did I make you a moderator? On the B. So Ivy, I look on my phone to see who's talking.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how you do it, but that's how I do.
I don't really have a way yet to do things. I'm kind of still figuring it out, but I everything so far I usually do it on the computer.
Uh, So you see people talking when you go live. You see people talking on your
I
computer
did, yes, I did when I was on there. Like right now I don't. Oh, I see it. Okay. Yeah, yeah, I can see it.
on the side on StreamYards.
Uh-huh.
Like
On the
you see
side of
our
the
little,
screen.
yeah, you see our little window. Then you see all the people.
Mhm.
Hi, Linda B. Hi, Kitty. Hi, Wise Al. And let's see. Do you know anybody in the chat?
Let me see. I
I
know
will.
Linda, of course. No, I some names I recognize, I think, because I've been in your live before.
I'm gonna go get your YouTube and link it. Guys, this is has everybody met? What's the name of your channel?
Ivy Pearl dash clever swirl.
Yeah, I love that name. Ivy Pearl Clever Swirl. But your name is Ivy Pearl, right?
Yes, yes.
Can you tell the audience what your channel's about? Like, I know you're into swatches, and I even went to your website. Uh,
Yes. So I am new to coloring, but not new to crafting and art. So in my crafting and art life, I am a stickler for swatching everything.
okay.
And so I had started making some swatch charts, just really because I like to swatch everything. And also I have kind of a unique take on swatch charts. So I'm starting to upload some, put some swatch charts online. Um, but I don't have many online yet, but it's something I've been passionate about for a long time. And I don't know, were you I showed one of my swatch books in my live last week. Were you in there? Did you see it?
I went to a couple lives. I'm not sure. I watched today's haul, for example. I'm not
Oh,
sure I
thank
saw.
you.
You're welcome.
I'll show I'll show you this is one of my swatch books, but I have my like acrylic paint. This is the main thing that I was doing before coloring was painting. And these are like just classic
Oh,
acrylic paints like by Golden and Liquitex. But I also have swatched out these acrylic paint pens, and then I have these brush tip acrylic paint pens. I swatch out my oil pastels. um I swatch my inks. So these are my distress inks. Um I even swatched like my highlighters. These are my zebra highlighters. And these are some brush pens by Fudenosuke. Anything that is colorful, I'm going to have a chart for it.
Do you
This is
find that you spend a lot of time swatching though?
no. I
Yeah.
think maybe because I just do it when I get the, usually when I get a new medium, I'm going to go ahead and swatch it out.
Uh-huh.
And just go ahead and put it in here. I feel like it saves me time because I already kind of know what that color is really going to look like.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I am a swatcher.
But how about like suppose doesn't it vary from paper to paper? Like,
Well,
you
yeah,
know?
yes, but usually what I do, my approach is to swatch everything on white. I do not do, I know some people, I'll see their videos and they're showing a new medium and they'll show it like on black and on tan and on white. I don't do that. I swatch everything on white because I feel like I get the truest sense of the color.
Uh-huh.
And then I kind of have an idea like, okay, it's going to look different if I have different color paper. The only difference is maybe if you're swatching watercolor, I probably would use watercolor paper, just because
Oh,
that's
that's a good
mostly
idea,
what
yeah.
you're going to be using. So if there's a special paper that you use for something, I would say do the swatch on that paper.
Uh-huh.
But for most things that I use, just good white cardstock works fine. Usually I'll swatch on heavier weight, though I do not swatch on printer paper. And when I say printer paper, I mean like the 20
Copy
pound.
paper, yeah,
Yeah,
the copy
I
paper.
don't
Uh-huh.
swatch on that because it's so thin that it really doesn't show true color. You
Uh-huh.
know, the paper, it can make the color look gray sometimes depending on what you're swatching. So I do not swatch on copy paper. But if it's like 65 pounds or higher, that's what I usually swatch on. So and it doesn't matter if it's 65 pounds smooth, 65 pound vellum, 80 pounds smooth, 110 pound, as long as it's 65 pounds or more, I would swatch on it.
Okay, okay. Hello,
But
Joe. Where's my Joe? Oh, he says hi. Good to see you. All right. So
hey.
I got one more question for you. Find that when you go live, you can't. Can you focus on your craft? I can't really focus on mine. I talk more.
I well, when I went live with Linda, I was able to, but I think because um we were both kind of on there talking and coloring and it just kind of moved along. And
Yeah,
Linda is a prolific colorist, and so she will get through some coloring, okay? And so
yeah.
her momentum was really good in that sense. And then I did on my live, I did do a coloring with eyeshadow.
I
And
saw that. Remember?
yeah,
Yeah. I
I
don't
was
know
able
if
to.
you. I don't know if Linda wants to come up here because I like Linda too. But sometimes people don't like to get caught off guard like that. Does anybody, Linda? Do you want to come up tonight? I don't want to catch her off guard. So you got some pretty paper pad there.
Yes, I was just went through my stash and I
See?
picked out some old paper pads actually, but I was like, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Let me just get a variety of colors. And
Yeah.
then I even got some metallic paper. I had this
I
remnant
love the
of this.
metallic paper. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a remnant of this glitter, this kind of a white glitter and a couple of different golds
Uh huh.
and a mirror, like a silver mirror paper. So I don't know if those will come into play, but I've had this my mind's eye. I never see my mind's eye anymore. But
Uh huh.
they used to be super popular, right?
Yeah.
Um And I've had this paper for God knows how long, but I love it. But I don't usually gravitate toward these cooler colors. But it has some pretty yellows. It's nice paper too, double-sided, very, very nice. So I pulled that out because maybe it'll finally get a chance to be used.
Uh-huh.
And then I love Echo Park papers. And so this is a pad that I got from Tuesday Morning, which sadly our Tuesday Morning closed. I don't know if Tuesday mornings are still open everywhere else, but
I have never heard of Tuesday Morning. Is that a craft store?
no, it's like a discount store. They used to have a lot of random stuff. They didn't necessarily have everything, but they had like dishes, some cookware, candles, stuff for your home, pillows, um that kind of stuff. They even had some pet stuff like pet toys,
Uh-huh.
and they had crafting stuff. A good selection too, actually. And so I got this Echo Park paper pad there for $5.99, and this is pretty nice. Of course,
Oh,
Echo Park
nice.
has great paper, and then
Uh-huh.
they've got this Have Faith paper pad. I got this at Tuesday Morning also. I just basically pulled out a few older pads that hadn't seen the light of day in a long time. So we'll see. I don't know if this one is going to be bright enough, but it kind of has some Easter, a little bit of an
Oh,
Easter
coloring for
vibe, like
wellness
this
is in the
floral.
house. Coloring for wellness is in the house.
Hi.
She said,
Hi, Coloring for
"Hey, I did
Wellness.
too."
Hey,
She
how are
said, "Yeah,
you?
I know about coloring for wellness
let me get
too."
let me get my paper trimmer so I can
Yeah, let's get busy.
I don't know. So when you do a coloring card, are you doing a 4.5 by 5.25, like an A2, or are
uh,
you
well,
doing?
okay, so let me show you real quick. You don't have, you can do whatever you're comfortable with, Uh,
Mm-hmm.
if coloring, because people want to see you, we want to see you, Ivy. So, but I think you've expressed an interest in it, right? So this is what I do. Let me pull the camera out. I find something, I make a coloring page, or I find a coloring page, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
trim it, cut it, create it. And then I open up a Word document, okay? And then uh, put the picture on the Word document in pairs of four. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So this will actually make four cards. Or if I wanted to have two coloring pages, I'll put a picture on the top and a picture on the bottom. And then put the whole thing in the card like this. And then they'll have two coloring,
Right.
But tonight I'm just gonna
Okay.
put one. But it's a little involved, But it's really nice for the people that color, you know.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I was just like, I have a picture. Let me send it to my printer.
Hi,
I'll show you.
Nubia.
My
Hello, Nubia.
printer is acting funny today. It's acting like it doesn't want to print, but I'm going to give it another try.
Now, yeah.
Just
Now
see.
tonight I printed all one picture, so this will make four cards. But like I said, you could put four. Put two pictures. However you want the card to be. The Eagles just won, so I'm stuck on the Eagles. So I need to make some Eagle cards. So yeah, this is gonna be fun.
I
Coloring for
am.
wellness. Let me give you guys a wrench.
I got to get my scoring board. Hold on.
Yeah, take your time. So if you guys have not subscribed to Ivy, she's a really nice um, crafting channel. She's new to. You said you're new to coloring.
Yes, I just got my first coloring book at the end of September.
Oh wow. Uh huh.
Yeah, I was my mom and I were at Michael's one day. I was picking up some paint
Uh-huh.
and came across some coloring books, which I was surprised to see. I don't know what made it catch my eye because I'm imagining they've been selling them.
Uh huh.
But they we picked up this coloring book to color together. So when I googled the coloring book, I'm trying to remember what book was it. I don't remember off the top of my head, but when I googled it, I that's when I kind of stumbled into this whole world
Of colors.
of,
Oh,
yes, of
neat.
all of these people coloring. And um so I was really excited about that. But then of course that took me down a rabbit hole, and my mother and I actually started coloring that page in October.
Uh-huh.
And then I need to trim some more off this paper. But we from October to now, I have probably 30 coloring books. It is a real it's a real
What?
problem.
You bought 30 coloring books from October to now?
Yes, and
How lovely is that?
I am putting myself on a little bit of a pumping the brakes just a little bit.
Right?
Um but it what I'm surprised by is just how um the art is so nice in some of the books, and I want to color them all, but I've had to have a frank discussion with myself about the reality of
Uh-oh. You
the
got
fact
trouble
that
with
I
yourself.
cannot color all that stuff. You know, I'm only one person with two hands.
Well, Animal Lover said he's just subscribed to your channel.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
and like I said, guys, I'm not one to push my, religion, but what I like about Foxy Colorist, what I like about Ivy is, they're not afraid to, talk about Christ, that's what I gravitate to Ivy and Foxy Colorist, and you're all actually nice, and that's what I just love about it. So,
Yeah, I am not going to hide my light under a bushel.
amen.
I feel like if I have an opportunity to talk about the Lord, I'm going to take it. And I'm grateful to have it. And I share. I don't try to overpower people in the sense of, now let me just tell this story. When I first came to Christ, my I was so zealous, right? I wanted everybody to just come to
Yeah,
Christ.
you were so
And I
zealous, you were annoying. No,
yes,
I'm
and
not one of those.
yes, no, no, no. You
Yeah,
yes, I
exactly.
was,
Yes.
because the way I
Uh-huh.
felt was like when I would share the good news, I would just sit there and wait for them to just fall on their knees and come to the Lord, because I felt like I told you this great news. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
surely
there's a
this
time
is
and
the
place for
moment.
everything. I think
And
we're
I
in the mall. We're in the mall right now. No, there's a time and a place for everything, But yeah,
but yeah, I was that way, but then I learned like I don't have to be that way, you
yeah,
know.
I was
So
that way
now,
too. Yeah,
yeah, I just, I feel like when I feel led to share, I share. And I
yeah.
try to be sensitive to, the
Well,
time and place.
what people are gravitating to is the kindness, is the Christ-like nature that comes from your voice, even your kindness.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely agree. But I had to learn. I was annoying. My very best friend was like, "I'm not coming to your house anymore because you only play gospel." And she's
Right,
like,
right.
and I was like, wait, no, we could listen to music, because I do love music. But yeah, I was very, very, very zealous. I still am, but again, I've matured, and I'm
Exactly.
more sensitive, right, to time and place, a
Well,
la Ecclesiastes.
yes, to Ecclesiastes 3, to everything there is a season,
Hmm.
to everything there is a time. But yeah, you just matured. We mature. See, we're babies, and babies act immature.
Yep,
You
yep.
know?
And we have to learn. But yeah, I agree with you though too, that a lot of what can draw people is just you being how God made
Yourself.
you, and
Yep.
being, just your true self. So Yeah, that's 100%. I think I'm gonna use some dyes because I want to I want to make a frame for this for this
Okay.
experiment that I'm doing, everyone.
Yes.
So, what I'm trying out today is to make a shaker card, which is a card that has some bits and pieces inside that sparkle and shake around when the card is moved. Now, let me just confess, I've never made one, but I'm going to try today.
Yes. And
Sink,
for those of
sink
you
or
who
swim.
diamond paint, for those of you who diamond paint or have your little gems with the little hearts that you send me in the cards, they work well. Also, too, Ivy, you know the little things you can shake around in your shaker card. You could actually die cut little hearts and stuff. It doesn't have to be, these drills or stuff. It could be paper. You know.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. Little like hearts or stars
Yeah,
or
they shake
whatever
well too.
little.
They
Yeah,
shake well.
that's a good idea.
But the trick is, if you're going to use the cellophane bag, like the idea that I put, the trick is to put something like a little higher, like maybe a heart gem or something. I'll have to make a
Mm-hmm.
shaker card, but and show you. But also, I learned my shaker card from Stamper Girl. But go
I'm
ahead,
gonna.
let's see what you got, girl.
It seems like it's pretty flexible in terms of what you do. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use one of my favorite dyes, which is this cloud dye, over the top. And so my vision is to have this on top with the acetate, and then I'm going to put a frame underneath that I'm going to stack up however many
Okay.
layers, and then I'm going to
Yes.
probably color something to put on top, and I'm going to do ink blending for a background.
Wow, she's going all
So
out,
let me
girls. Linda B said, "What was that contraption you were using, Ivy Pearl?"
It's a scoring board. This one is super old too. This is Martha Stewart scoring board, if this is what you're talking about.
Martha
So
Stewart.
usually, right?
I
Usually,
didn't know she was into that.
to fold your paper to make sure that it's even, you just place it in the corner, and you there are these grooves, as you can see, they're an eighth of an inch each one. And so you just go down the groove with the bone folder, and it then you can crease the paper. One of the benefits of this is not only that you'll fold it evenly, but also your paper, sometimes when you have thicker heavyweight paper, it might crack if you don't score it. So you're not only setting like a middle part for yourself to be even, but you're breaking down the fibers where you're scoring. You're not breaking it down to weaken the paper, really. You're just breaking it down so that when you fold it, the paper won't tend to crack. And you might never notice this if you're using copy paper, because it's so thin. But when you have a heavy cardstock, this paper that I'm using, I think is, let me see what weight it is. I know it's 100 pounds. So, if you're using 100-pound paper, 110-pound cardstock, it might crack. And so you want to score it so that you can just get it to bend to your will. So
Gotcha.
that's what I'm doing with that, is scoring it. But I'm also going to do some ink blending with some distress inks. I'm trying to pick colors. I want to do something bright and Eastery, so maybe like a bright color, um, rainbow kind of, but like with Easter colors. So look, I'm going to pull out my swatch book
Gotcha.
and turn to my inks. So what I'm thinking is I got Kitsch Flamingo Squeeze Lemonade. I might do Twisted Citron, which is a bright green. And then maybe Salvage Patina. I think that's what I'll do. Pink. I probably need an orange too. Maybe dried marigold. That's a good one. So those are the colors I'm going to go for. I just got to find them in my stash. Okay, so here's dried marigold. Can you all see these colors? I got to get used to like staying in frame.
Let me make it big.
Let's see, where's my twisted citron? And then the salvage patina. Hold on, let me get that. So I keep my distress inks in these drawers. I'll just show you all. And so this is how I organize them. And okay, so here's another thing about me. I like order. Even though I love crafting and I don't mind.
Came to the wrong live stream.
Listen, I don't mind I like getting messy, you know, when I am crafting, like when I'm using oil pastels, I'll blend with my fingers and all that. But I do need order for me to be creative. So
yes.
This is just, you know, it's what's natural for me. So I'm missing my green. Let me grab another drawer. But I just thought I would share that. I love distress inks. Do you use distress?
I have not gotten into the distress inks yet. I just started making cards. About a year now, and I'm limited in what I can do because I don't have all the fancy bells and whistles.
So, well, let me tell you, that is a whole other area with its own rabbit hole of shopping. But I love I love distress oxides, and I also have the regular distress inks as well. But for what I'm going to do today, the distress oxides I think will work better. So I think what I'm going to start with is just doing this ink blending background. Let me cut this cardstock so that I can do that.
Yeah, see, I haven't gotten into the stamping yet and the distress ink, so this is nice for me. Hi, cat lady. Thank you so much for your card and the stickers. Yeah, I haven't learned all that, so this is going to be a nice thing to go back and look at, you know?
Yeah, it is a lot of fun, and I like to have I just like to experiment, you know. I like to experiment with different techniques, which is why I'm saying, I was telling you earlier, I'm surprised I've never made a shaker card, because usually once I know something is out there that can be done, I'm trying to figure out how to do it. But
well, I just learned it not too long ago, and like I said, you're gonna have to try the trick with the cellophane bag, you know.
I am gonna try that. Oh my goodness! As soon as you said it, I was already thinking, do I have one that I could just use today? I don't think I have one, but I will be getting some. Okay, so this
size will slide right into the bag. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. This is what I'm pulling out is a little silicone mat that you can blend and do ink on, and then just wipe it up, and later. So what I have on my table is a cutting mat. And so I just keep this underneath. I just slide it underneath. And when I get ready to do ink blending or anything like that, I pull it out and sit it out on top. So then I'm just sitting my cardstock on here so that I can start blending. And this is a little mat that I use sometimes to keep my whatever I'm blending from slip sliding all over the place. So that is this little black mat here. And I'm going to tell you guys what this is. So once you get into the card making, there are lots of very expensive things you can buy. But I like to save money. It's just in my nature. So there are these mats that are kind of like jelly kind of mats that kind of have a stickiness to them, but not really sticky because there's no adhesive. And so they sell them so you can put your cardstock on it and you can blend without the cardstock sliding all over. And so they're pricey to me for what they do. So this right here, you know how you can get these to sit on your dashboard in your car so you can sit stuff on there without it sliding
Yes.
off? That's what this is. So instead of buying that mat, that when I looked at it, it's been a few years, but when I first looked at them, those mats were like $40. And I was like, I'm not doing that. And I got this for $5. So
Right.
I use
They
this. And I, huh?
they make them for diamond painting drills, like to hold your diamond painting drills in place. It's just sticky. It's just a little sticky thing on both sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're good. Go ahead, girl.
Yeah, that's what I do. So I'm just taking out my sponges to go with each color.
Uh-huh.
Um let me see. That's my salvage patina. And then I need my twisted citron. And this is another thing too. I use the same blending sponges over and over and over until they fall apart. And then I will switch to another sponge. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's just another. Do I want to do saltwater taffy or kitsch flamingo? I guess I'll keep the kitsch flamingo. Here's dried marigold. And I keep them in these little bead tubes. You know how you can buy these to keep beads and stuff in? They're usually in the jewelry
Yes.
section at Hobby Lobby. So that's what I keep my sponges in. So they don't, become a mess. And I label the slot that it goes in. So I know that this is the one for
I don't know. Too
that.
organized for me.
And this
No, no.
this is the squeezed lemonade. So that's the
Uh-huh.
blending sponge for that. I think I might need a new twisted citron sponge, but let me just make sure. You said too organized for you,
Too
huh?
organized for me, girl. No.
I I
I'm
I
not
can't help
messy, but
it.
I'm not that organized.
Oh, I can't help it. I really can't help it. It's just always been a thing. But,
You said you're in the computer data. Is it?
I used to be. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I in my past I was in the computing world for a while,
Computing world.
actually, for a
Yeah.
number of
Yeah.
years. Yeah. I used to even in the old days of the beginning of this whole like internet thing, I was doing programming and stuff like that at that time.
Mhm.
It's a lot different now, a lot of
Well,
uh
yes. Back in the day, you used to have to use the DOS screen and put your code in, right?
yep,
But now
yep,
everything's just push button.
yep. And you and think about it, even before, even just to use the word processor. Word Perfect was the ruler at that time.
Yes.
And Word Perfect, even then, you would still sometimes use a DOS prompt, even if you're just doing word processing.
Yep. You know how I made my first web page? I did all the code. HTML is what I gravitated to, and
Mm-hmm.
saved it as a HTML file. I did it on a Word document, saved it as a HTML file, and then it turned into a web page. And if I didn't have the code right, it didn't. You know, it wasn't a
Yep.
page. You know.
Yep. That was
Hello,
it.
Michelle. How are you?
There was no real plug and play. The first plug and play, I want to say, in terms of doing web pages, was actually Adobe was early in the plug and play for web
Yes.
pages. They're not the ruler of that right now, but they were early in that game. But yeah, you used to have to actually write the code for whatever you
Yep.
whatever you
It's
wanted to do. So let me see if this is
on your
going
Word
to be a good
document.
one.
Save it as a HTML.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm gonna do, and then you have to debug it yourself, and you have to sort out and figure out where your errors were and all that stuff. So what I'm doing right now, I'm sorry, I'm probably shaking my camera, but I am loading up this sponge. And since this is a new sponge, I'm just kind of overloading it with the Distress Oxide ink. And I am going to just start blending with that.
Yeah, this is a
So
pretty. This is so pretty
you
when
know,
you
it's
guys
telling
do
you they have these sticky mats that are much more expensive than what I paid. There
it.
also are translucent, and I kind of like the fact that mine is black because you eventually the ink stains the mat, right?
Right,
But by
right.
mine being black, it doesn't show.
Guys, I am watching the chat if anybody has any questions. It's going
So,
to be,
what made you start doing cards?
I just liked it. Okay, I was minding my own business, diamond painting. And, so I had this friend, and I still have him, Craft by Jay. You guys know Craft by Jay, right? Well, for some reason, his community gifted me a starter package, like everything you needed to make cards. And I
Oh,
thought
that's
that was,
cool.
yeah, I thought that was so sweet. And then so I started making cards because of LV Handcrafted. Do you know LV Handcrafted?
No.
Okay, LV Handcrafted, Craft by Jay. They got me my first card, thing. So I started making cards because of what they sent me. And I started watching them. I said I was going to make cards in the new year, right? Because if I like something, I like to watch it for a little bit to make sure I don't buy all the stuff and then don't like it. You
Right.
know, like I don't like cross stitching. Where's Sherry? None of your business. I don't like cross stitching. Do not like it. So I wanted to make sure that's how I do a craft. Make sure I like it. So I watch it, tell everybody I like it. I'm thinking about doing it. And so, yeah, so then I started making cards like that. And because I color and diamond paint, I like to incorporate, coloring in the cards or making diamond painting ephemera, you know,
Uh-huh.
putting that in the card. I like to incorporate all three of those things, which is what I'm going to do tonight.
I've
So,
been wondering about the diamond painting because as I've been more on YouTube, which that's another thing, the coloring kind of brought me more into YouTube. Even with my computer science background, I have not been a social media person. I haven't really embraced social media
right.
until recently. And it's just because, the coloring community and everybody's so nice and um friendly and it's so fun and it's so wholesome and
Yes,
you
yes.
know,
And the craft
I
community, yes.
yeah, so I that has opened that up to me and that also has opened me up to a lot of other things. So I have to decide though, what do I want to embrace for myself? Of course, being only one person and knowing myself, I like to try a lot of things, but I've been seeing a lot of junk journaling and that looks really cool, but I haven't been able to convince myself to try that yet.
Well, junk journaling, there's a lot of good junk journalers too, if that's a word. Um, Martha Makes Art is a good one to watch for that. Uh, I think there's a couple of you that junk journal, but I have not. It's like card making, but I haven't gotten into junk journaling because I like to share my stuff. And I guess you can make the whole journal and share it with somebody. But that's why I like cards. It's like a mini junk journal, and you can
So
give it to
that's
people,
kind of
and you
like
can,
making mini albums, back in
yeah,
the day of crafting. I have had an era of making mini albums where you put a lot of different things, but you give it to someone and they can add their own bits and pieces or notes or whatever. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
yeah.
I like when I'm watching them and they have stickers and bits and pieces of stuff. But I'll tell you what I don't think my personality will let me do in the junk journaling is I don't think my personality will let me really truly junk journal, because to preserve all of those scraps of stuff
Yeah.
is, it just doesn't work for me. I can keep a few scraps, cuz like I'm not wasteful. For example, the piece of glitter cardstock that I showed earlier,
Ah,
like if it's a nice size piece of something that I know can still be used, I'm going to keep it and I'm going to use it. But I I'm just probably not the person to
yeah,
keep a lot of
you
other
said
stuff.
you said you like to organize, and that's exactly why
Yeah.
I don't junk journal either. Because in order to junk journal, you have to have a lot of junk around,
Yes, and
to make it all
I
pretty, you know.
I'm not the girl. I'm not the girl for that. So
Exactly.
that's what keeps me from. But I can appreciate their creativity. But
Yes.
I probably, yeah, I'm like, that's probably not a craft that's really for me. So you see how these inks kind of just build up and they start to kind of blend into each other really smooth.
Uh
And
huh.
you can blend any of these colors. They have tons of
Look
colors
how
of.
beautiful that is. But so, how much is the distressed ink? How much is those little pads?
Well, it depends. So I think that their standard price for this distress oxide, which only comes in this full size pad, is about 7.99,
A
but
piece.
they're always on sale.
All
They're
right. So
all
$8 a piece, and I want 70. So 8 times 70. No.
and the truth is, yeah, they have 72 colors.
Oh, do they? I'll try.
Yeah, they have of distress inks. There are 72 colors, I believe, altogether, or maybe even 73. They released a new color a couple years ago. But yeah, but you can get them on sale. They're always on sale somewhere. Michael's is good for having a sale, especially around Black Friday. Um, so
Look
that's
at
a
that.
good place. Sometimes you'll see them. They'll be 50% off at Michael's. So yeah,
Animal
that's.
lover. Aaron says I started coloring again after you get my smart serve done. Don't understand what you're saying. Um, uh, she said she cleaned her desk off. Michelle said, "What is junk journaling? What is junk journaling?"
Well, my understanding of junk journaling is that you are turning trash to treasure, in a sense. Not really trash, but bits and pieces of things that come into your life come through your hands, and instead of throwing it away, you create something artistic from it. So a lot of times they're built on a foundation of some sort of notebook or some sort of bound journal.
Right.
So I
Yes.
think
Yeah.
that's why they say journaling, because it's usually on a foundation of some sort of journal. And
Yeah.
some people do actually journal in them. I've seen, like, they really do use it to journal.
Yeah, and like they use those school books, Michelle, those black and those spotted, what do they call those notebooks that kids use in school? You know,
Oh,
you could use that. You could use
those
anything.
composition
Composition
books.
book. Yeah, you could
Yeah.
use that. You could use any book, you know. And basically, what I like to think of it as, uh, making a card for every page. Like every page has a theme, you know, and you just incorporate your life in the book in all the pages, you know.
Yeah.
Like if you went to the movies, you take your ticket stub and make a movie page, you know.
Right. Right. It looks
If,
cool. That's one thing I will say. It looks cool, but I think
if you
yeah,
got a
I'll just have to watch.
yeah, if you got a speeding ticket, you take your speeding ticket, put it in your junk journal, and make a law enforcement page. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's
It's
it.
yeah,
They really do incorporate everything that
yeah.
passes through their hands into their art.
Yes, that's what a junk journal. To me, it's like a whole bunch of cards in a book. You know, you really
Yes.
can. To me, you really could take a junk journal page, cut it 5.5 by 4.25, and put it on the front of your card and send it to someone.
You
Right?
absolutely could. You are so right about that. Okay, so
Yeah.
see how I got all that ink on there and I just take a baby wipe and it comes right off.
Gotcha.
And then I just put this back in my drawer for the next time I want to do ink blending. $5. And see, you can see on this side, that's the part like that you would stick on. You'd have this part on your dashboard, and then you put your phone on top of there. But
And
yeah,
then
so
she would get pulled over for using her phone while driving.
right now, right, but at when I first used to use those little things, that nobody was getting in trouble for talking on phones. We hadn't passed
I
those
know.
laws yet.
But now it's a $250 fine.
What?
$250 in New Jersey, girl.
Oh wow.
Higher than a gun. No, I'm kidding.
I'm getting my die cut machine so that I can cut out my die. This is so old, you guys. This is a Big Shot. This is an OG Big Shot from many years ago.
So
If you
what
guys
size
ever,
is that? What size?
this is the
Oh, that's
regular.
bigger. That's bigger.
Yeah, yeah.
Mine can only go 2.5 inches. I have a mini.
Oh,
I need
okay.
to upgrade, but they're so
You
expensive.
you
She's joking
probably
about
have
that.
this, the
Yes, the
Sidekick.
sidekick. Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is phenomenal. So, this is so good, but you're right. It has a size limitation on what you can cut. And so I want to cut this cloud die, which is here on my desk somewhere, but I have
But guys,
mislaid it. But
the,
yeah, so I want to cut this and it won't fit through the Sidekick. The good thing about the Sidekick though is that it has this suction. You put it on your table, it will suction itself to your table, and you
yes,
can just run your smaller dies through there. But
yes.
this one, see, it's big enough for something much bigger. And they come larger than this now, but I've had this for so long, it's not worth it for me to replace it because they are pricey. And this was pricey for me at the time that I bought it. It wasn't as pricey as they are now, but well, actually, maybe when this first came out, it was more pricey, but I bought mine secondhand from a scrapbook store owner who was upgrading, and she was selling this for a really good price. And I've had this, I would bet, probably 15 years.
Yes,
And it has never failed me. And I'm hoping it won't fail me tonight on this live. But it has never failed me. And I got it for less than half price.
that's good.
So I'm gonna show you my idea for how I'm gonna cut this. Let me see. I gotta get my cutting mat.
I upgraded because they're expensive, honey. Even the little one is $60, Lenore.
Yeah, they're pricey. But listen, if you decide to get the Big Shot, it is worth it to me, and it lasts. These are by Sizzix. In my experience with this machine, they're very well made, or they were 18 years ago. I'm sure they still are because they still have a good reputation.
Yeah.
And they have, so you buy these cutting plates. Mine look horrible, you guys, but this is what happens when you cut with it, but doesn't mean it's not useful. But I've had this same cutting plate, this big one, since I got the machine. So these are the only things that you have to replace over the years, and I've probably only replaced them maybe 3 times since I've had it. So it's been a good investment for me. So I highly recommend it.
Yes.
But what I'm going to do is cut.
I like to have other people on my lives because you have all that cool stuff, and I like to learn.
I am I'm trying to grab some cardstock that I can cut with this. So let me, but I've been doing card making for a long time. So
I have not. I just started, so that's cool.
I have been able to accumulate a few things. But so what you do is you put your cutting plate down, you put one of the clear mats, you can put your die face up or down. I'm gonna do it face up today. And then you put your other clear plate, which I know is no longer really clear for me because I've had it for a long time and it's beat up. And then you just crank it through. Okay, bear with me as I shake this table.
Bear with me.
So once it cranks through, then you have your die cut. So let me move this. So let me pop all of this out. So these are the clouds that it cuts out, and I'm probably going to use one or two of those maybe. I may not since I'm doing a shaker card, but what I really want to get out of here is the frame. So let me just get my little pokey tool so that I can get the frame.
Okay.
So here's my little pokey tool. So the dies, they have usually. Hi, Taylor. How are you?
Right, Ivy?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, hello,
She's
hello.
awesome. She's awesome. Okay, so I'm just poking through the little hole so I can get the frame and pull the frame out.
Let me just interrupt you one more. I'm making everybody a mod tonight so that you can, subscribe to each other's channels and stuff, okay? So if you come in another day and you're not a mod, nobody did anything wrong.
You're not on punishment?
You're not on punishment. I just, nobody's on punishment.
So what my idea is to have this as my background, and then I'm gonna have this cloud.
Oh, that's so gorgeous! Look at that.
Those clouds will be behind there.
And that's kind of the same thing Foxy Colors was doing on the live 2 weeks ago. She made a whole bunch of clouds, different colors when she colored. I love the colors like that. Remember?
Yes, I do remember. So what I've got to do for this shaker, first I've got to figure out if I've got anything that would be good to put in a shaker, because I don't do diamond painting, so I don't have drills, but I got some sequins and stuff. Let me just see.
Yeah, get the sequins. Also, don't forget what I told you, Ivy. You have little dies. Do you have little die hearts?
Yes.
Those will shake if you have little tiny die hearts.
So I have some sequins.
They look kind of big though.
Yeah, so I don't know. Well, I know like these are too big, but I was hoping those are big. These are smaller. So I have different sizes. Maybe if I can. Yeah, some of them are big. I was thinking about these, but these are way too big. These little
But you
pearls.
know what? Ivy, I'm telling you, if you're going to get into that shaker card business, even the shakers that you buy for the shaker cards are a little expensive. I'm telling you, buy diamond painting drills. They sell the drills separately, 50 cents a package.
Really?
Yeah, girl. And it makes a lot cheaper shaker cards, and it's just as good. Right, Linda B? Right,
that's a good idea.
Michelle, right, Taylor? Yeah.
That's a good idea. I think I'm going to cut out one of these words too. Either I'm going to stamp it and use it as a sentiment, or I'm going to cut it out of maybe the gold, because I think maybe that would be pretty on top of this. If I did that. Huh?
Linda, whatever
Whatever
Annie
Annie
says
says
is
is true.
true.
It's true. It's true.
You know, because I don't want to spend my whole check on crafts, you know. So I'm like, oh, I could do that with
Mm-mm.
diving drills, you know.
Mm-hmm. Let me see what can I put, because I was thinking about doing Easter, but this doesn't have an Easter sentiment. I could just say this could be a happy birthday or a big hugs. Thank you cards are always needed, right? Maybe I'll make
Yeah,
a thank
yeah.
you card because I have a
Ivy, look at the camera. See that? See these drills? They sell them
oh,
separate.
those are beautiful.
Well, these are AB drills. So Aurora Borealis. That means that the drills change color. So get yourself some AB drills if you're going to get into diamond shaker
I
cards. I'm
need to do that
serious.
because I was the only other sparkly thing I have is I have those sequins
See?
and I have Swarovski crystals, but I'm not putting those in a shaker card. That would be too expensive
See?
to be
See
filling
how
up
they
a
come?
shaker card.
See, you can buy the drills separate. It's really cool.
Oh, that is. I didn't know you could buy them without buying the kit.
Yep. Oh, or you could go to Walmart, girl. Okay, you can all afford Wally World, right? Or
Do they have
or
diamond painting
yeah,
kits at Walmart?
yeah, well, yes, they're starting to carry them more and more. Look, guys, I got these at the dollar store. Now, guys, you can go to your dollar store and get. Well, these are sticky, so they might not work. But I bought these at Walmart. Look, got this at Walmart. Sequin. That's what you're using, right? Ivy? The sequin? Yeah,
Yeah.
the sequin will work. They're a little big, so I like them small so you can shake more. You know,
Yeah,
I like
I
them to
think the
shake.
diamond drills would work better from
I
what
think the
I'm
diamond drills,
seeing.
yeah. And get the AB drills, Aurora Borealis. They're smaller and they'll change colors and they'll really look pretty.
I am going to, since I have it here, instead of pulling out
See,
my big.
Ivy, look, these are drills too. See, look how pretty these are.
Oh, those are gorgeous.
I use it for
See,
shaker
and then
cards all the time.
what you're saying about the price too makes it very appealing.
Yeah, 50 cents.
Very appealing. I'm just gonna tear a piece of paper so I can cut out.
Hi, Lizzie
Oh,
G. Hey, girl. I was thinking about
hi.
you. I sent everybody their Valentine's cards, Jean, and I was cleaning my desk and I saw your card. I'm like, no wonder she's not talking to me. She didn't get her card. No, I'm kidding.
Li- Lizzie
So,
Jean didn't get her card. She's on
yeah,
radio silence until she gets it.
no, I don't even think she realized it. But I did send it out today. I thought I was missing two. I counted 12 cards, and I'm like, and I only mailed 10, and I'm like, I thought I had 12. I thought I had 12, and I sent out a package, and so I thought I put two cards in the package, but no, I cleaned my desk and I found your card, so I sent it out today. So hey, hey,
Uh,
hey.
so what else do you said you do diamond painting, you make cards. What are your other crafts?
Which that's enough. No, diamond painting, coloring, and cards. And I like those three. I like those three crafts because I can incorporate all three into card making. You know.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Uh,
that's true. That is
yes, because
true.
I use the. Let me see if I have it here. They make diamond painting stickers. Okay, I have some stickers here for example. Uh, diamond painting stickers, for example. These are some diamond painting Valentine stickers, little gnomes. See, so you make ephemera out of these, Ivy, and you put them on your card. You know,
That is a good idea. Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna cut this and just see. So here's the sidekick, same idea, just
Yeah,
smaller. It
let
has
me
the
make you
two
big.
plates,
Hold on,
and
Miss
it
Ivy.
has.
There you go.
I've got the two plates, and it doesn't have the big platform. The thing with the platform is you can do multiple things. You can cut, you can emboss, you can do all kind of stuff. This is got my gold cardstock. I've got my die. I'm gonna try to cut out the word thanks and see if it's legible.
Uh-huh.
But you run it through, crank it just like you do the big shot. It's just smaller. And so I will when I don't want to get my big shot out, a lot of times I'll just get this little thing out, and it cuts perfectly. See that? It just cut through all of that gold. So I was thinking maybe on top of that I could put gold, thanks in gold across there on top of the thing. Or maybe something more fancy. I feel like I need a fancier word.
I know. It's so pretty, isn't it, Michelle? It is so pretty. I love that.
Thank you. I feel like I need a fancier word to stand out. But I
What
guess
did you oh, the thanks, yeah. Well, if you need a thank you card, that's that's fine too.
Yeah, because thank you cards, you always need a thank you card.
What you heat emboss? Jean says, yes, girl. I heat emboss over my toaster too.
Oh wow! Now
what is heat embossing?
So you take this enamel powder, and they come in different colors. And so what you do is you would stamp your word in a special kind of ink, and these enamel powders stick to that ink. And so usually you'll use a heat tool to melt the enamel powder so it sticks to the card, but it's a raised embossed finish. It's very, very nice. But I've never even thought of doing that over a toaster because you just need a heat source, I guess, really, right? Most people use a heat gun. But yeah, you use these enamel powders. They come in silver,
work with
gold.
What you got, girl. Work with what you got.
I know. I love that. Listen, that's why I have that card mat instead of buying that expensive mat, because I'm all about saving some money. So what I need to do now is I need to find a square that is the same size as my card so that I can build up this shaker card, if that's what I'm gonna do. I have several sets of square rectangle dies, so I'm just trying to find one.
That's what I'm saying. Now watch, guys. She's gonna build up her shaker card. In other words, she's gonna put paper on top of paper on top of paper so that she'll have something for the drills or whatever to shake. And I gave her the idea of using the cellophane paper, and the card slides right into that. I'll have to make one and show it to you. I'll make a video,
if this size will fit. So that's a little bit
mine's not going to look as pretty as hers, but I really love that.
Let's see. These are not going to give me a standard A2, so let me get another set and see if this set will give me an A2. It's a little bit bigger. Let me see. I've got this other set. I got lots of rectangles, guys. I think
that's good.
This size might be perfect. Okay. I'm going to use this one.
Guys, if you work with this metallic paper, try not to handle it. Don't get your fingerprints all over it, right?
Right.
You
Yeah, you don't want to ruin the sheen of it.
Somebody just sent me the metallic paper too, and I've never worked with it before, and I keep touching it.
It's so pretty. Don't you want to touch it?
But you get your fingerprints on it. It's like
especially the mirror finish. So when you are talking metallics, there are so many finishes. So see how much shinier this is, but it's still a brushed finish. This one is a different type of finish, and then there's the mirror finish. there are so many shiny
right?
options, and I love
Yeah.
shiny
So
things.
shiny, like shiny, glittery. Ooh, you know.
Yes, I love it. I love stuff like that. So let me cut out some of these. Okay, so this is good. This is the not so interesting part is that I have to cut out a lot of these rectangles to build up, right?
Uh-huh.
So that it can be thick. I think I might use 110-pound cardstock. That might go faster because that's a lot thicker. And see how many layers do you think I would need of 110-pound cardstock to make it thick enough? Maybe like about
Uh,
5
five.
or
Yes,
6.
like five.
Yeah.
And then are you going to put a piece of transparent paper over it? Is that what you're
I
doing?
am. Yeah,
Yes.
I've got to cut a
Uh-huh.
piece of acetate too.
And see,
But I'm
I don't
gonna
got
cut
time for all
this.
that. I don't got time for all that nonsense. So I bought me a cellophane bag.
I'm gonna do that. Trust me and believe. The next time we talk about a shaker card, I will have tried that.
Yes, it works.
So that's one, and
Let me
I'm
go
gonna
see if
do
I can find my
5.
shaker bag. Oh,
Oh, that's
hey, Ivy, keep them company. I think I still have
okay.
a Halloween one that I did that. Let me go look for it and I'll show you. Okay,
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Let me
Talk amongst
see.
yourselves.
I feel like I need a a frame that's going to be the right size, and I'm not getting the right size frame. Let me see if this. You guys see? Here's yet another set of rectangle dies. Oh, that might work between those two. That's going to be a deckled edge, though. Let me see. Let me see. Let me go back to these just to make sure that I'm not missing something that might work. Let me see if this will give me what I need. That, no, because the other one is too small. I think I might just cut that out, cut around the outside.
So Ivy, I did find it. So um,
Awesome.
I can show it whenever there's a break. So when there's an
Yeah, no,
actual.
go ahead because I'm trying to find the right the right rectangle to put behind
Okay, so
here.
let me make myself big here for a minute. See how Ivy's doing such a nice job, and coloring it, all that. So this is what I do with mine. See what I'm saying, Ivy? This is just a cellophane bag,
Mm-hmm.
and the card slides right in it. Okay, and then look, these are diamond painting drills, and see what I mean about the paper, the little stars. See how that shakes in it too.
Mm-hmm.
See how
That's
pretty that is?
beautiful. I'm gonna try that. I'm not gonna say I might. I'm definitely going to try that. I know
I mean, I
for
could take this
sure.
apart. I could take this apart and show it to you if you want.
I got it. I got the idea. I just need a cellophane bag. And then you just
Yeah.
put this up, make sure it's measured right, put your shaker bits in there,
Uh
and
huh. And
then
then just,
have at it.
I like the cellophane bag because it folds over, and sticks to itself. And you do have to fold
Yeah.
the extra over and tape it a little bit. But yeah, it
Yeah.
saves so much time. It
Let me
saves
see.
so much
I
time.
might try that. Let me just see if I have one. Let me see if I have some. Hold on one
And
second.
see how the little paper, see I cut out little stars and hearts or whatever I did, hexagrams, and see how that shakes too. So it doesn't have to be just drills. It could be little papers. It could be whatever you got, See how cute that is? I just love it. It really adds a nice dimension. And I learned it. I don't know where I learned the cellophane bag. I'm not sure if that was my own shortcut, but I learned it from Stamper Girl, you know, and it's just so nice. I really like that. Are you not on SNL, Saturday Night Live, Linda? That's like a snuggle look. Yes, Aaron, exactly. So, yeah. So, yeah, it works well, guys. It works well. And is Cat Lady still here? Probably not. I haven't. Oh, look what I did. I put a little
Okay.
black cat in the corner there. Look, isn't that cute?
I
That is a
think I
nice little
might
card.
have something that will work. I'm just over here looking through things.
Well, you just do you, boo.
I've
And I'll take the
got
opportunity
some.
to.
Okay, I've got some options. Look, transparent bags.
Hold on,
Yay!
hold on. Let me make you big,
Oh,
girl. She's getting all excited. She's learning
I
something
am.
new,
I'm
Cat.
excited. Look, I've got transparent bags.
Okay,
Maybe this will work.
they're a little big, but just fold the
Yeah, if I
extra
cut it,
over.
maybe.
Well,
Maybe if
don't
I
cut it.
cut it
Fold it. Don't cut it. Fold it over.
and then fill it with the shaker. Let me see how this
Fold it
measures
over.
against my
Fold
card.
it. It's a little. Oh, you have a big. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
It
that's
saves a. It
perfect.
saves a lot of time.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
use the little bag. It's a little floppy. Let me see what else I have. So
yeah,
that's
and
one
just
option.
just keep it a little loose. Keep it a little loose. So it'll shake. Because you know why I was using a shaker bag, guys? Because when you do the layers, you have to glue it, right? And so when you glue it, if the glue's wet, your drills are going to get stuck on the glue, and they're
I
not going
found
to shake.
something better,
Do
I
you know what
think.
I'm saying, Ivy? The reason I
Mm-hmm.
the reason I went to the shaker bag is the cellophane bag is because when you layer the card, tell me if I'm not right. You're gluing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So glue, and then if the glue is not completely dry, your shakers get stuck to the glue and they don't shake.
Yes, yes,
So
absolutely. If you do, yes, and if you use the wrong adhesive, because some adhesives stay slightly tacky, and you wouldn't notice it when you're gluing paper to paper because you'll never feel it again. But when you're
yeah,
doing a shaker, if you use an adhesive that remains slightly tacky even when dry, that's death to a shaker because the whole thing is it needs to be able to move
yes,
around.
girl. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was making those mistakes. I'm like, I don't got time to mess with this, but it looks so pretty. you
I
know.
know. I don't have really anything completely appropriate, but I'm gonna get something. Because
But
those that I
it's
have, they're a little bit floppy. So
Ivy,
maybe
Ivy, Ivy, Ivy. Don't overthink it, girl. This is
I
your first
know.
card.
I
Let's have
know.
fun.
I know.
Have fun with it, Ivy. Loosen up. You got this.
Let me
But
see.
because you'll make another one that's even better. You're just playing. You're just
Yeah, I just want to get my feet wet, right?
yeah,
Just a
yeah.
little, just a little. Let's see. Four. Oh, that's four exactly. By. I'm just measuring to see. 4 by 5 1/4. So
And
that's
like I
taking a
said,
quarter
you don't have to
inch
be
off.
exact because you can fold the extra over. Fold the extra over.
Mm-hmm.
But make sure you glue it or tape it or something really good on the backside. You know.
Okay, I've got to do some figuring out. Okay,
Okay.
so if that's gonna be 4 by 5 1/4, then I am going to have to cut that at 4.5 by 5 1/4. So just talking to myself, you
I
all, just
hear you,
trying to
girl.
figure,
You know,
just trying to figure
there's a book called "Don't Overthink It."
that right. I think I'm going back to the
Well,
um
the first card is always going to take longer. It's your brainstorming card.
yeah. I
And then,
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to cutting out the squares I'm gonna go ahead and try it the old-fashioned way until I get my hands on
Right.
a cellophane bag. Then I'm gonna
Right.
abandon that because I think the other thing sounds so much easier.
Yeah, and I'll work on a video this week. You know, I need to find my little cellophane bags anyway because I have, something coming up. But I'll do a video and show you how I do it, and then you can follow it if you want to. You don't have to if you don't want to. Good idea. Because you know what
That
you
would be
do.
nice.
You get different ideas from different people too.
Yeah. I've got this too big. So let's do this at 4 1/4. So how long have you been diamond painting?
Well, I came to this channel in 2018.
Oh wow.
2018. But I thought there was just canvases. But you know what? There's all kinds of stuff: eyeglass cases, stickers, lampshades, just little plush animals, all kinds of stuff out there. And then when you get creative, you can make your own. I mean,
Make your own diamond painting?
yes. There's ways to do that too. I have one.
That
I have a couple sitting here. Like I made my own diamond painting from one of Martha's coloring pages. So, but that's yeah. As you get better at something, your mind just gets really creative and you just go crazy. Hello, coloring with Tanny. Am I saying that right? Coloring with Tanny's in the house.
Hi. Oh, hi, Tani.
Tanny, okay, Tanny.
I hope I'm saying that right. I think I am. I'm getting that pronunciation from Foxy Colorist.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
She's
another
another nice
sweetheart.
crafter. She's another nice
Yes.
crafter too, yeah.
Okay, so
So
that's
Tanny, I'm making
3.
everybody a mod so you can subscribe to just check each other out and stuff like that. Good to
So
see you, Tanny. I'm enjoying your channel.
I'm really, really looking forward to the tour of your coloring space, Tani. I always love to see how when people are doing creative endeavors, I always like to see their spaces. There used to be a magazine, it was called Where
Craft.
Women Create.
Oh,
And it was
I thought it was crafted cribs. Anyway, go ahead.
no, was that a thing?
No, that wasn't the
Oh,
thing. But that sounds cool. Crafted cribs.
I know. It was called Where Women Create. And it was focused on women, of course, but it was focused on women who did different creative endeavors. They were painters, card makers, any type of crafty thing that you can think of. They made jewelry, they did crochet, but in this magazine, they would always just, you got to kind of peek into their creative space. And it was really cool. It was very cool. Let me get some washi tape so that I can keep this in place. So, let me move this up so you all can see what I'm doing. I'm getting ready to cut this, but I need this die to stay in place this time. I can't just cut it wherever I want on this paper.
Okay.
So I am going to use a piece of washi tape to keep the paper and the die in the orientation that I need them to be. And then I'm just gonna crank it through. Now I will tell you, I'm having to use some pressure to crank it, but it's not nearly as much pressure as it might seem. It's just that it does that, like it'll pop its way through. Oh wow, that's a thin frame. I wonder if that's the size. That looks like the size that I need. Oh, I'm abandoning this project. Let me tell you why.
It's too thin. It's going to take too many layers.
No, it's not the layers. The layers would be easy. It is that this cloud die is such a particular size that it's challenging to cut the layers that I need. And that's going to take way too much time. So,
Well, why
okay,
don't
no,
trim the clouds? trim it.
But I have only a 16th of an inch around. So this particular die is a little tad bit finicky for me to do a shaker card, at least the traditional way. I probably could do it the cellophane method, but to do it the traditional way, this is a little too finicky. So I'm going to have to abandon that project for tonight. But it was fun to try.
Okay,
But
so here's what Ivy is telling us. She has spent an hour and 20 minutes to show us nothing. No, I'm kidding.
Exactly. So I'm abandoning that so that I can at least have something to show for my evening. Okay.
She'll
So
make
what we're
something
gonna
real quick.
do is we're gonna
That's
move
still very
on.
pretty. That's still very pretty.
We're gonna move on and at least turn this into some sort of card. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim off the excess here. This is gonna be my card. I'm gonna put thanks on top of here, and I'm gonna stamp a sentiment on the inside. So it looks like I've got to cut off a half an inch here. So let me do that.
And you know what, guys? It's the fellowship, it's the friendship when we get together.
Yes.
That's why I go live, really, for the friendship, the fellowship.
Yes, that's one thing that I didn't expect, coming over to YouTube. And I didn't know. I mean, you hear about people going live, I guess. I hear about it more on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook either, so let me just say that. But I didn't know it was so like you kind of can find a tribe of people that you have things in common with,
But Ivy, she's so antisocial for being on social media. No, I'm kidding. I really like Ivy, though. You're funny.
I like it, and I like the whole aspect of like finding your crew, of people that are kind of into some of the stuff that you're into. But I guess why did I never really engage with social media? There are a number of reasons. One is I told you I was in computing back in the day, kind of at the genesis of some of these things. And so at that time, the social media was really bulletin board services. Do you guys remember those?
I remember that, yeah.
Right. And so I remember, you
decorated your bulletin board, and it was like a thread of people.
And the thing that really turned me off on that was whenever I would go into these bulletin board services, and you kind of are looking for common people who have things in common with you in terms of your interests, but there would be a lot of vulgarity. There would be, I guess, what you would call now trolls. It could become very unpleasant, and I kind of really shied away from it at that time.
And then it still could be unpleasant. That's why, because we still have trolls, and trolls like to troll, and that's why Ivy, you're new to doing your lives, but you should have a couple of moderators just in case somebody doesn't have anything to do on a Friday night and wants to come in
and they want to come and troll.
Just be an idiot,
Yeah. And I really I'm sorry, I need to be unframed. I am just applying glue to different areas of my little cloud die cut. But yeah, so that really kind of made me shy away from it. And social media, another thing that made me shy away from it in more recent years is, as social as it is, there were things about it that I just found strange. Like when people started, like, I don't know if they do this as much anymore, but posting like just their breakfast and every single thing they did in a given day. And I just was like,
I never, that's really too. Like, I never post my dinner in a short or anything like that. Right, guys? I do it all the time. Ivy, I do it all the time. For some reason, it gets a lot of hits. I don't understand why.
I don't. And this is why I always thought it was strange. And maybe I'm learning that, some of the way that I was thinking about it is not necessarily, accurate. But I thought it was strange because I used to feel like, well, when I see you, what are we going to talk about?
Right?
I already know everything you did every day, even what you had for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like,
Right.
what do we talk about when we meet? When we meet up for
I
lunch?
I just posted my dinner tonight.
Did you really?
It's
Where do
in a
you
short.
post?
I posted it in a short, Ivy, and it said, and I wrote, dinner before I go live, smiley face.
So do you do that often? Like, and you said people like that though, right?
Yes, I post a lot of Bible verses with pretty pictures and music. Check out my shorts. We're new
That
to each other,
See,
guys.
I
So
get it. I get some of it. I really do, but some of it I honestly I don't get. I
well,
will
I don't
admit
get it.
some of it is lost.
I do not understand why people like my food. I don't get it. I'm not even a good cook. I just don't understand. And some
You know
people,
what though? Even as I'm saying this, I remember being in Linda's live and she was saying what she was going to cook that day. I did find that interesting.
see,
If
but
I'm going to be honest, I did find that interesting.
yeah. And the other reason to go live, like me and you were talking, right? Even if we're not paying attention to the chat, which I am, but even if I wasn't paying attention to the chat is paying attention to the chat. And it helps make friends. The chat makes friends with each other.
Yeah, that's good too.
But yes, Ivy, I did post my dinner. You could, have a look at my shorts. You'll see a lot of dinners.
So let me ask you this too. This is another thing that I'm not quite sure about either. Once you're on social media and your people in your real life follow you on social media?
No, not too many. Well, like if Newbie is still in here, she's a IRL. And what do you consider real life? Because I'm starting to call people. Like I call these people on the phone. Like I call Michelle. I call Jean. I call Animal Lover. Do you consider that real life too? I've never seen
No, I guess what I mean is people
people
who
you
knew
see
you
in church.
before.
Okay, so it's people just like you. There's not a lot of people. Nubia was in here earlier. Nubia Jordan. I see her in church sometimes.
Okay. Like
So
what I one of the things I like about it is in my real life, meaning people before I got on social media, I
yes,
don't have a lot of my friends in real life who are crafters. And
same
so what
here.
I'm finding is that like by coming on here, I'm able to find
The
like-minded,
crafters. Yes,
people. Exactly.
that's what the
And
Bible says. The
so
Bible says to have fellowship with like-minded people, and it doesn't always have to
yes,
be in church. Ivy, it doesn't always
right,
have to be in church.
right,
That's what
exactly.
I like about it too.
And so yeah, I can really fully appreciate that because my friends, they probably their eyes would just gloss over if I talk about crafty things too much, or oh, this new coloring book, like um there's a new coloring book by Kirby Rosanne's. Is it
Uh-huh,
Rosanne's or Rosanna's? Anyway, he has a new coloring book called Dark Fairy Tales,
uh-huh.
and people are so excited about it, and people are talking about it. But if I was to say to someone, oh, there's a new coloring book, my friends, and I said Kirby Rosanna, they'd be like, who?
Well,
What
and
is
not
that?
only that, but you can make a coloring book so easy these days. Like me and
Yeah,
Martha,
yeah.
Foxy Colorist. I mean, social media is amazing. And speaking about social media, there was this lady at Bible study today, guys. Hi, Mary's Life Channel. There was a lady at Bible study today that was making this. Uh, Her sister made her crocheted her a queen size blanket for her queen size bed for a wedding present. And then after that, she never crocheted again because it took so long. Well, guys, in my little community here, I have two crocheted queen size blankets. because I have friends like that. I got it like that. You know what I mean?
I love that. Yeah, I don't
But
have
this lady was like, my sister made me one, and she's never gonna crochet again. Boy, would this lady love this community, the crochet community, for example. You know,
mhm.
they don't know what they're missing.
I feel like I would love that. Like I have friends, they'll create in spurts. Like I have a friend who she will come over and make Christmas cards, for example.
Uh-huh.
And so she'll do that once a year. But she's not, you know, stalking Michael's for a good sale or anything like that.
She's not gonna have coffee at Michael's with you.
No, no. So, like for me, I have spent more than my fair share of Black Fridays at
Uh-huh.
Michael's because, their Black Friday deals are amazing. Um,
Also, isn't Michael's the one that has classes?
they do. Yeah, I've never taken one, but they do have classes.
I was thinking about going there and just making cards for free, just for because I had my crafts for hope, just like stopping in there and saying, "Hey, I'm a nonprofit. Can I just have free card or something?" And then
That's a
people,
good
yeah,
idea.
and then people could buy your stuff, and can I have
Yeah.
a 25% discount, or can I put your store in my newsletter, something like that. That's
One of the things that I like about stuff like that is there are so many people who are so in need of social connection.
uh
And so
huh.
what I'm figuring out is like this whole like live streaming, getting online, finding a community of people that like the stuff that you like. Um, that to me is what is really attracting me, right? Just the thought that there are people, because there's one channel and I can't remember the name of it, but there's a lady, she comes on very, very frequently and she does coloring. And she's got a community of people that I think they
Oh,
don't.
I think that's Eileen.
Yes, that's her name. Yes,
Every night, Eileen. Yes,
yes.
yes,
And
yes.
I feel
She
like that
she
is
made
amazing.
she put together a nursing coloring book for me. Two nursing coloring books. Yeah, Eileen.
Really?
Yes, yes, and also too, not too shabby. Put together a card stock. She knows I was a nurse, so she made the nurses fuel paper pad. People are nice like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I need,
I
yeah, but
love it.
I need colors really, really professional. I really.
And she's got a community of people, and
Yeah.
I was in her live, well, in the chat a couple of times, and there are people you can tell, like, the her being reliably available is
Yes.
giving them a social outlet. They have friends in the chat. I mean,
That's
they
what
have
happens.
developed real friendships.
That's what happened. That's what I'm saying. That I call a lot of these
Yeah.
people. I call a lot of these people on the phone and in the chat. You know, and I've gone to see a couple of them. You do make real friendships. You
I
do
love it.
make. You do.
I love it. I love it. And just, I'm telling you, when I'm sorry, I'm stepping away to get another piece of cardstock because I didn't cut that one right. But um, when I just being in her chat, she's so nice and it just felt like a hug. Like she was just
Right?
so sweet and
How
her
about the
chat is
hug?
really supportive and they're aware of kind of stuff that's going on with each other. And
Yeah.
I'm new, but I'm already getting some of that. Look, I'm not focused. How many times have I cut this piece of cardstock? Feels
Well,
all
yeah.
right.
But yeah,
But anyway, but I'm new, but I already have, there are certain things that I'm learning about people that are in the community that I'm
yeah,
in. And I'm like, oh, this person, they have something going on at work, and I can pray for them if they, put a need out there, or I
isn't
can
that the
just be
truth,
excited
guys?
for them, like, oh, they're getting a new house, and I'm like, yay, it. I'm telling you, you guys, I've been bah humbug on social media, but
Oh,
I was
girl, well,
wrong.
you need to
I
hang
was
out with,
wrong. I was
yeah.
wrong.
Well, there is sometimes social media is crappy, but when you have a good wholesome community, your followers and well, and sometimes you intertwine, right, Linda B? Like it'll be me, Linda B, Foxy, you know, we'll all follow each other. We'll all
Yeah.
follow each other, and that's why we gotta like you go live Thursday, Foxy goes live Tuesday, I go live Wednesday, because the whole group in the chat loves all three of us. You know, we all follow each
Yeah.
other. Yeah, and Martha makes art is another one.
And
Everybody in the
she's the
chat.
one that does the I've been to her channel now that I'm thinking about it. She is the one that does she posted like a golden book junk journal today and it was so
Yeah,
cute.
it was cute, but I'm like, oh, the golden book.
It was
It
so
was
oh
cute.
you're like don't mess up the golden book, huh? It
Yeah,
was
'cause
so adorable though. I
it
was
was
like,
adorable. Chris, you said you grew up with golden books or you love golden books or something. Yeah. Yes. Well, guys, I loved every single one of you in this chat. Right. And it's so hard to like, separate your time out. Like, but I do watch everybody's. Like, I can't go to every single chat.
yeah, it's
And
a
I
lot. It can be a lot. I could
yes,
see
and I
that.
keep missing Foxy. I keep missing Foxy in the morning. I love, spending the time with the Lord.
Listen, you guys, that her thing has started getting me up in the morning. I am not naturally an early riser.
Uh huh.
My husband, it's very natural for him to get up early. Um, he's that person by nature. For me, no, I'm more of a night owl, but wanting to get up for her mindful coloring in the morning has made me, start getting up earlier to show up for that. And I like it because I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's something that the Lord is doing, but whenever I do have the discipline to get up very early, earlier than I want to get up, I feel like my worship time is always so fruitful. It's
Right.
almost like God is just like I used to get up and I fall in and out of the practice of getting up early. And so I would get up and go to the gym super early, like 5:30 in the morning. And every time I had the discipline to do that, I would tell my friend, I'm like, I know that Jesus is waiting for me on that treadmill. I got to get over there because
Yeah.
I would have a good time doing that, but I fall out of
Hi,
it so easily because
hi, distracted me.
it doesn't come natural to me. Four and a
But
half.
so here's what I've been inspired by Foxy Colorist because she does the morning, but I'm up all through the night, right? Now I
Hmm.
belong to the Women's Christian Temperance Union, and with the Women's Christian Temperance Union, we pray in the afternoon. We have a prayer chain. So I took my inspiration from Foxy, and I'm going to go live on my other channel, the Women's Christian Temperance Union, every afternoon and pray for everybody in my prayer book. You know how you say, "Oh, I'll pray for you. I'll pray for you. I'll pray for you." Well, I actually have a prayer book, a YouTube prayer book at that. But I added some nurses in it. Now I added some church people. So it's just a general prayer book. And I'm going to do that every afternoon.
What time?
12 o'clock. We do it at 12 o'clock. And it's
I
just
am
praying.
pretty flexible in my schedule, so I'm gonna try to show up for that.
Yeah, and it's just praying. And you know what would be nice? Maybe we could hashtag God is good or something. And if people just want to go live during the day and make it a prayer or make it coloring with Jesus or something like that, and hashtag God is good or something, we'll come up with a hashtag. Then that because the way the world is right now with the fires in California and the weather over here and ice over here and the president over there, we need prayer. We need God. Right?
Yes,
So if we
yes.
could have like some kind of hashtag, and people go live and talk about God and do their craft, then we'll have the world covered.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me share this. I've not shared it anywhere.
Any
But
time of the day and night,
God has put something very much like that on my heart to
Mine
do.
too.
He
Mine too.
hasn't, I've been really praying about it because, he's not fleshed it out for me yet, but he has very clearly been leading me in that exact direction.
Yeah.
And so I feel like the zeitgeist spiritually is very much in that vein because I'm hearing other people say the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so the
Okay.
women, like I got the idea from Foxy, but the Women's Christian Temperance Union, we're supposed to pray at 12 noon every day. So look, here's my little diamond painting, right? I diamond paint. Here's my little diamond painting prayer book, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go live on the other channel and pray Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays
What
because
channel is that?
I'll post the link. It only has 7 subscribers. It's the NJWCTU for Women's Christian Temple
Okay.
Community. So and it's on my community wall right now. But yeah, I'm just gonna go pray. Just have we'll see where it goes. 10, 15 minutes, just to pray. I just want to pray for my people or God's people.
Okay. Here's
Um,
what I'm using now. This is just a tape runner.
you know,
This is
maybe
my
I'm married.
my
Thank you for that.
mega tape runner, but most people might use a smaller tape
Yes.
runner.
Okay. Yes.
You might more see something like this as a tape runner.
Yes. For comparison, I just stuck in
Yeah.
using this.
Yeah. So I love these, but I got Big
For
Mama because
yeah,
I do a lot of cards.
big shotgun.
And
Yeah.
you can load so much tape into this thing. It starts out, of course, much bigger than this. The roll is fat, and
Uh-huh.
you can be using tape forever before you feel like you ever need to change it.
Is
These
it
are
is it
wonderful.
thin though? Is it thin or
Yeah, it's
all right?
thin.
Where did
Look,
you get
look.
that? Now I need
See
something
how
like
see how
that.
thin the tape is? It's just as thin as this. It's thinner, in fact.
Yeah, because I'm
And so
constantly buying these little things.
you can be very precise with this. This is by Scotch, and you can find them at the hardware store. You might be able to
Hardware
find it at
store.
Michael's. You might be able to find one at Michael's.
I
It
will invest in that.
it looks more industrial usually. I just put this paper in here because I
Uh-huh.
wanted it to look cuter. But yeah, so this is just a tape runner. It's just a really mega tape runner. So it does
I
the
guess
same thing that the other tape runners do. It's just bigger. And you
yeah.
don't have to change it out, and it's cheaper because these rolls you can get them by the case on Amazon for
Uh-huh.
pennies. And so, yeah, it's much more economical if you really make cards or do any paper crafting, honestly, because sometimes I've seen people use tape runners in their junk journals or glue books or whatever, because, different adhesive for different purposes. But yeah, that I really do like. And I've had that also probably for 15 years. Look, I might spend a lot on crafting, but one of my things that I say is that I don't waste my money. I
Right.
I get my money's worth because I believe in buying the best quality that I can, which doesn't always go with the name brand, but I will buy the best quality that I can and I take care of it. But yeah, it's just a glue runner. That's it. And it's called, you might, if you look for it on Amazon, you see that it says advanced tape glider. So sometimes people just search for ATG, like ATG gun.
Yeah,
And
I'll look for it now in just a second.
yeah, they probably have them that aren't even Scotch necessarily.
Yeah. So you know, if we could do that, we'd all the world would be a better place for it, guys. You
I
know?
definitely agree. I'm telling you, I definitely agree. I'm waiting to hear what God, instructs, but
Well, yeah,
he really has put it on my heart. And
he
until
has
he
me
gives
too.
me
Yeah.
some more clarity, I would just love to support other people
Hmm.
that are doing that work. It's
It's
so
not.
encouraging.
Here's the thing: we're doing it anyway, right? Like Foxy
Right.
gets up and spends time with God. I get up and spend time with God, right?
Yep.
We're
Yep.
doing it anyway, so it's not like we're
Yeah.
doing something special. We're doing it anyway. I do it every day, but on Monday and Fridays, I go to the nursing home with the dog, the service dog. So
Oh, you have a service animal?
yes, let me see
That's
if I can show
cool.
you. Let me see if I can show you. There, you guys see her? She's
Yeah.
she's retired now, guys, but now she is working hard.
What kind of dog is it?
She's a yellow lab short pain mix.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'm
So she
trying to
goes,
find some.
yeah. So she goes into the nursing home with me, and we visit. Well, my friend's there. That's what started that. And we're visiting other people while we're there. You know.
That's so cool. I'm just trying to find some embellishments to
You
finish
know,
off this card.
yeah. Let me show you this one, guys. Okay, guys, look. This is what I'm talking about. Here's eagles, for example. Okay, and then you open it up. Ta-da! And I created that coloring page. I designed it. I don't know.
Oh, that's cool.
You see what I'm saying? But you could use you could photocopy Foxy's coloring page. Ask her. You know what I mean? But I like to give coloring cards to the people that I know color.
I have got an image I'm gonna share with you. Hold on just a second.
See how pretty that is,
Uh,
guys? Go Eagles! Super Bowl winners. So this card here is definitely $20. No, I'm kidding.
the Eagles is my brother's favorite team
Mine
ever.
too, girl. Mine
He
too.
he has been an Eagles fan as long as I can remember. And so when they won, I was rooting for the Chiefs. Actually,
Okay.
my brother and I both like the Chiefs, but in this game, of course, he was going for the Eagles. But because we grew up in Kansas City, but this when the Eagles won, when I tell you I was genuinely gleeful
Yeah.
just to experience my brother's joy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It made me so excited because I just know how much he loves the Eagles. And I feel like, at least of the people that I've met that are Eagles fans, they are some of the best
Oh,
fans.
oh no, they're not. They're roughhouse.
Oh, the ones that I know, and maybe I'm saying that because they stick with their team. I'm
Yes.
not saying that because they're the genteel fandom. No. I'm saying because they are so they are Eagles fans are real fans. They're not the ones that I know. They don't jump ship. They're not
Nope.
abandoning their team. They are
Nope.
solid. Yeah,
Nope.
they
And even
are
in our
solid.
crafts, like I just made a card. Well, Ivy, we gotta have it. Eagles diamond
Listen,
Girl,
you gotta have because how did you become an Eagles fan?
okay, well, when I first started watching football, I watched football because the guys used to huddle and they had tight pants on. So I was watching it for the wrong reason, but cheap throw on Sunday, nobody knew. So you pick a team. So like I like green. That's I'm a Gemini, so I was doing all this, getting into it, not understanding about I like green, I like the pants, stuff like that. And now I really, really know how it goes, you know. So I have a favorite team in every conference, and I watch it every Sunday, and I really understand it. But that's how it started, you know. So there's my Eagles diamond painting. Here's my Eagles card. There you go. So how did you get into it, Ivy? Well, it's your brother. It's not really Ivy, is it? It's
Well, I became a football fan because my dad and my brother weren't going to have it any other way. They were
right.
um
They were
they
hungry.
were yeah, they were big fans, and so I just started watching cuz when I was a kid, my dad, he was my ace, right? And so whatever he was wanting to do, I wanted to do. And
Uh,
so I would just sit up and watch football with them, football, basketball, whatever sport they were watching. And I came to really like it. I'm trying to find an embellishment or
oh, yeah.
two.
So
But
guys, there's my coloring card. Now, see, Ivy, if I sent you a card, right? This is the wonderful thing about community. If I sent you a card and you said your brother liked the Eagles, I would make some Eagle cards to give to your brother, or you know what I mean, or to give to your friends. That's what
uh-huh.
community does. That's what community
Yes.
does, and you'll see that. You'll see that.
You know what? As you're saying that, this is something I've never had happen. I got Happy Mail.
That
I
happens
am
all the time.
I was like shocked. I was shocked, you guys, because I'm thinking all of this I'm trying to figure out, right? But you find this community, you find people, they're interested in the things that you're interested
Yeah.
in. You're finding people that are doing new things or doing it in a new way, and that's all cool enough. But to think that because to me, okay, let me say this. One of the things about card making is I genuinely love getting cards. And the
Yeah.
reason I love it is because I know you had to be thinking about me when you got me this card,
Uh,
right? Even if you didn't make it, even if you went to the store, you were in the aisle for whatever amount of time thinking about me, and you grabbed a card and you signed it and you actually brought it to me. So to me, a card is so thoughtful, right? And
uh,
so all of that means a lot to me. So to me, to have someone that I know from online think about me and get something, put it in the mail, package it up, and send it to me. It just
it means
blew
a
my
lot,
mind.
doesn't it? It means a lot. And
It
that's
blew
why I do the
my
shout out.
mind.
It's so sweet
I,
of people.
oh my God, I had no idea. You guys are really, this whole this aspect of social media, I just didn't see it coming, but I genuinely love it. I
Right,
genuinely love it.
right.
I really, really do.
And like if I, well, for example, if I knew it was your birthday, right, I'd send you a card and I'd say, oh, I made you a couple to give for your brother or for your, that's just what I do.
Oh,
Um,
see,
but
I
I got,
love that.
but I got a confession to make, guys. When you send me a card, I genuinely love it, right?
Hmm.
I will save your card uh, for I don't know. I'm not going to say a year. I'll save your card for a certain amount of time, but then sometimes I will repurpose your card and send it back to you. Okay, you know what I mean?
So wait,
Listen,
so
listen.
you
Okay.
like rework it
Yes,
into another
yes,
card?
yes. Chris, for example, animal lover, sent me the most adorable card that was bananas. It says I'm nuts about you or something like that. I know for a fact Chris loves bananas, right? So
Uh-huh.
I made him a card, but I took his card I took because I needed the bananas off his card, so I took the face of his card and made him a card out of the bananas that he likes. And people do that to me
But
all the
see,
time.
I like that idea too, though.
Well, people do
See,
that to me all the time. Like I'll send them a card to diamond paint because they don't know if they like the diamond paint or not. So they'll diamond paint the card and then send it back to me. And I was like, hey, I just sent this to you. But that's the whole point, you know. See, if somebody sends me a card and then I could take your card, the face of your card, and turn it into three cards and make three more people happy out of the one card you sent me, I love that.
see, I like it too. I like that. I think that's cool because
So,
not only it's like a gift, it's like the inception of gifts, right? Because number
yes,
one, they're thinking about you and they send it to you, right? And then you not only get the gift of knowing that they thought about you, and not only thought about you, they put action behind the thought, right? Then you get the double gift of being able to do some crafting with the gift that they sent you. And
yes,
then you get the triple gift of being on the giving end of the gift exchange. So that's number 3, right? So
yes.
then when you get it to them, they get to know that you thought of them, sat down, used your creative energy that God gave you, reworked a gift into the elements that you knew they would appreciate. So they get to experience the joy of being thought of enough for people to put action behind their thought. So it's like the gift that keeps on giving. It's like,
Giving,
what
right?
was that movie, The Society of the Traveling Pants? We should do that. Like we should start like a craft exchange, right? Like if I color part of a page and then I send it to Foxy and then she
Oh,
colors a
like
little
the
bit and she
friendship
sends it
thing.
to you. And
Like,
then like make
yeah.
and then when you get it, you turn it into part of a card and then you send it to someone else. And then they color part and they send it to me. And then I turn it into part of a card. Like we could do the inception of gift giving. But
Exactly. And
I love it.
yeah, but the thing is, I'm like, oh, I really don't want to cut this card apart. I want to keep it. So I am going around in real life in my community saying, guys, I have crafts for hope. If you guys are throwing away cards that someone gave you, give them to me. Like at Christmas time, I'll ask for old Christmas cards. Oh, you have them in your drawer. You know, you have 100 of them.
Yeah.
Well, give them to Annie, and she'll make cards out of them.
See, I love that. I
But the
love
only
it.
problem with that is somebody gives you the card and you're like, you call up your friend, you're like, Barbara, Ruthie just gave me this card for Christmas, and are you sure you want to give it to me now? She's like, yeah. So she didn't even keep it. But anyway, but I do keep my cards. But if somebody's going to send like something like specific, like bananas, for example, and I know
Mhm.
Chris likes bananas, and he bought it because he likes bananas, but he thought about me, so he sent it to me because we love, we all like each other, right? I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make a card for Chris and send it back.
I love that though. See, I'm saying to me it is now I like getting gifts, don't get me wrong, but what I don't know, it's just I find it so moving that people would think enough of you to put action behind their thought. Because
Yeah,
so many times we have like hollow words and we'll just say, oh, we got to get together for lunch and that's all, whatever. But to put action behind you thinking of me will always be special to me. And
yeah,
so and like I said, it's the inception of gift giving because you get to do crafts, they get to give a gift, they get to get a gift, you get to get a gift. That's like the best thing. But yeah, when I got that Happy Meal, I was floored. I was like, oh my God. I was just like, I don't
yeah.
know. I'm new to it, so I didn't
Yes, but
expect it.
Like Tanny said, like Taylor said, there are people that be careful who you share your information with. Be friends with them for a while because
That's
there
a good
are
point.
people that will take your information and turn it into crap. You know,
That is a
so.
good
But
point. It's something to be mindful
you'll
of.
know. Like if somebody comes to your channel all the time, if the person is talking about God with you all the time. but just be mindful of, don't trust anybody and everybody, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a good point. I did think about I did that did cross my mind, but I will tell you it is something I have to always be mindful of because my proclivity, my leaning is to be a little too trusting.
well,
And
mine too.
yeah, and so I have to be very thoughtful so that I can be wise, right?
But you know
Because
what,
my in
guys?
huh?
Well, you know what? If you're too careful, you're not going to have any fun. Like
Right.
even I've been treated, crappy by some people. But that's why you have moderators, and I would rather be the way I am because I've made more friends than enemies, right? I've
Yeah.
met more friends than trolls. So that's just the way I like to be. I mean, it does teach you. The first time that happens to you, it teaches you a hard lesson. And then you got to decide, well, do I want to cut back and not be fun at all? So that's why you need to build your own community. Your community will help you, your community will protect you, right, guys? Michelle does it all the time. She watches my chat, but
I
you're
I'm
community.
learning.
We're a
Yeah.
community here. We're a community, you know?
I'm learning to be more careful. But what I decided kind of like you, I have to be the person God made me to be. I
Right.
just want to be wise about how I am in the world because I was tempted at one point to be a little cynical, because honestly, and this was something, it didn't even happen to me. But when I was younger, the first time I remember seeing and knowing that someone had been evil to somebody for
Right.
no reason,
and
right?
that will happen on social media too.
Oh my
But
God.
not so much in the crafting community. But
Mm-hmm.
let me give you a piece of advice. If you see somebody talking bad about someone else, do not be friends with them. They will talk bad about you.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
What
Uh,
I'm doing, guys, I'm just gonna say I'm stamping images that I'm gonna color for another card
oh, let me
eventually.
make it big. But I mean, I'd rather be. Let me show you. Let me make it big, baby. I would rather be more loving and sharing out my phone number and stuff like. I still want to be me because I've made more friends than enemies. I because
Yeah.
trolls just do that. Trolls are gonna do that. You know.
Yeah. I've decided I just have to
Especially
be
when you talk
me.
about God, Ivy. They might make fun of your, I thought you said you were, whatever. You know how it is when you start talking about God.
Mm-hmm.
And you just got to be strong, you know?
I I just figured out something. I forgot to put a sentiment inside of my card. I better do that. But yeah, when it happened, you guys, when I found out somebody just did some evil for no good reason, up until that
Right.
time, I guess I always thought if people really did evil to somebody, it would be for a really good reason, right?
No,
They stole that food because they had a starving
no.
baby at home, but
Sometimes they do
no.
it just because it's funny and they like it. They're
Yes.
trolls. They're trolls.
Yes. And it hurt me so bad. I was so sad because it broke my heart a little bit. But I
Yeah.
had to accept it, right? Because God wants me to be wise. So I had to accept the lesson that I was learning. But it broke my heart a little bit because I was like, oh, okay, just
I know.
evil,
You're
just
shocked.
because.
Yeah, and you're like shocked, like, what the heck? Like, why did you do that?
Yes.
I thought you were my friend. What the heck?
Yes. Yeah, it was a surprise, but like I said, I had to accept it. And then the secondary lesson was I had to decide, am I going to let this change me,
No,
right?
don't let it change you.
Am I going to let it turn me into somebody that I don't respect? No, I want to still be me.
Yeah,
So the way that I approach it most of the time is I still my my natural leaning is to trust, but what I don't do is if you show me something different, I'm gonna believe what you show
right.
me.
But the other thing is too, if someone else shows you something different about that person, they might have screwed it up. Come to that
Yeah.
person and get that person side of the story, because trolls like to separate people. Trolls like to say one thing to you and
Oh,
then say one thing to your friend and then say one thing to you. So before you break
they
up with
want
that
to.
person that you like, go talk to that person.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. Completely. Because whenever there's like that divisive element, I'm usually very skeptical of that. Like, what is your motivation, right?
Right.
In running and telling and whatever, right? Because to me, if you're my friend, if you were in the situation with that person, did you say something to correct the situation? Did you address it with them, or did you just run with the rumor, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did you deal with it? Because that means a lot to me about your character as someone who says they're my friend. You're my friend, so you want to run and tell me, but how did you address it with that person when you had the opportunity?
Because
Let's
I
talk
will
about
tell
that.
you, like a little shade and drama uh, grows faster than crafts. But if you're hanging with a drama person that does crafts, got some advice. Don't do that. They're not hanging with a drama
Ah,
person that does crafts.
right,
Hang with a crafting person that loves God. Do not hang around with a
right,
crafting because
right.
you're gonna get caught up in it.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about that actually, because so far most of the people that I have met have been so kind. But I guess in every circle you have to watch, right? You have to
Yeah,
watch.
just the Bible says to be in the world, not of it. And
Right.
sometimes, because it's funny or whatever, sometimes you become part of it. Just watch what you're doing. So your card is beautiful.
Thank you. I muted myself a little bit because I'm using my heat gun to
Oh
dry
yeah, I
the
see
ink.
that. Now, I will eventually get into that distressed ink, but I feel like I'm not going to get into the distressed ink before I can afford a bigger die cutting machine. Because
Yeah.
you do such a beautiful job with that. So maybe 6 months or a year. I got to make sure my bills are paid and my crafts for hope is being cared for. If I have any extra money, I will. I'll get a bigger die machine. I'm not going to waste the get the ink before I get a bigger die cutting machine.
I agree with that approach wholeheartedly. That die cut machine is worth its weight. It's a workhorse in the craft room, and you will get your money's worth out of it. It's just so versatile because, like I was saying, you can emboss, you can cut, you can do all kinds of things with those machines.
Now, Miss Taylor made hair studio. Do you do the distressed ink on your channel? Because that's the next thing I'm gonna watch more of is distressed ink art. Because it interests me. So I'm gonna do the distressed ink just like Ivy did. That's why I'm glad you came up here, Ivy, because see how your die cutting machine is bigger, and those kind of cards are much prettier, but you got a bigger machine. See, with my
Yeah.
card, I'm limited to the 2.5 inches. You see.
Yeah, and you can do tons with the big machine. I'm going to show you really quick.
I
I
mean,
don't
these
have.
cards are nice, but it's time to move on. Like, use more stamps and coloring and
Hmm.
stuff like that. This was nice for starters. The paper pad. This was a nice starter, but it's time for me to graduate.
I like it though. I don't have my right setup for this embossing folder, but I'm going to show you guys. I might not even need that. Oh, well, that's not. Oh, let me do this.
Wow, you
I'm gonna
make candles with a heat gun? That's neat.
candles. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. A
What?
heat gun is another I'm sorry for shaking the table, guys. A heat gun is another super useful thing. If you get a heat gun, you can do all kinds of stuff with that thing. But see,
What?
guys, look at this.
That's what I want to do. Yes, girl.
See
You can't
that?
do that. You can do it with 2.5 inches, but that's
Yeah, but
really
it's
pretty for me.
different because
Yeah.
this could almost be its own card.
Yes.
You could put that on the
Yes.
card and then put with flour right there.
Oh,
That's a whole
wow.
card.
Yeah, girl. That's what I'm talking about.
Just with this one machine. And keep in mind, mine is almost 20 years old. Yours will probably be even better because it might be wider. You could probably even do more stuff than I can. I'm not gonna buy another one because this 20-year-old one is
I
working
have
great for
little
me.
embosses, but it can only be no bigger than 2.5. And so like I can emboss a corner, but I can't do the whole
Yeah.
front of the card.
But that's the whole front of a card, right? And it could actually be bigger than this. It's this size because this is the size piece of paper that I found. But I'm telling you, this thing is worth the money. I think.
So everybody, let's congratulate Linda B because she said she opened her Bible and now she's trying to figure it out. So hey, that's a start, Linda B.
All right, Linda.
I'll put Linda B in the prayer book so that she can figure out her Bible. That's a start, Linda. Taylor says, I'm just beginning to learn it, Annie. Michael's had a big clearance sale on their stuff, so I started buying the distressed ink and the spray. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff, Taylor. I like the watercolor look. I like I like that. Yeah, so
I love those distress inks. And like I said, I have the regular distress inks and I have the distress oxide. I really love them. I'm gonna swatch some colors.
Psalm 91 is a good. Tanny, I like to make Bible verses and put them up to pretty pictures and music for shorts. And I have a lot of uplifting, inspirational Bible verses because sometimes the trolls get to me,
And so you need the encouragement to not let them, be in your head about
that's
stuff.
kind of my fault though, because I was hanging out with people that trolled other people, but they crafted, don't do that. Stay with godly crafts, not trolling crafts.
Don't be with the trolls and let them mess up something good, right?
So,
I like that. I think, what it comes down to, we have to be led by God and we have to take action when he gives us discernment and we have to move when he gives us discernment. I've just decided and I've come to rely on his protection. He made me the way that I am, even to whatever extent I'm naive and maybe to whatever extent I'm too trusting. I have to believe that he's wise and he built me this way for a reason. I try to be as wise as I am, but when he gives me discernment, I try to be obedient and I try to listen. That's really my protection, right?
Yeah. And Mary was saying, I love my new Inspire Praise Bible. Well, guys, for those of us that have channels, it's really uplifting. And it just takes it takes time to pick a picture and write the verse on the picture, and to upload it. But if you like your Bible verses in the morning, make little 1-minute shorts. It's very uplifting, And also the shorts will help you grow your channel. Not necessarily get subscribers, but you'll get views, And it's
I am trying to learn.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to learn. I am trying to learn how to edit, and I'm getting it figured out a little by little. I have a short that I recorded that I'm going to try to upload tomorrow. Because I've got to make it where it fits within the time frame. Because how long can a short be?
Just a minute. Well, I think you could do 3 minutes if you're making your own short or something, I think it can be 3 minutes, but I only make it a minute because it's a Bible verse, so people aren't going to linger around for, you know.
Yeah.
But
What I have
I'd
been
love to make Bible verses with a gorgeous picture, you know, something that, like, I like to make the Bible verse match the picture and then match it to a song. And what I like about making shorts is they play over and over and over again. Like you click on the short, and as long as you stay on the short, it'll play over and over again. And so when you hear your Bible verse, or when you hear the song, and you put that Bible verse to a song, it just brings, for me, it brings the Bible verse alive, you know. And then I remember the Bible verse, and I could share it. I could share it to the throughout the day with somebody else that needs it because I spent time with it. I gave it a pretty picture. I prayed over it. I put some music to it, and then that way it just makes my love of God and testimony for God roll off the tip of my tongue, you know, just natural. You don't have to stop and witness and corner the person while, you know, while you're in the
yeah.
checkout line at Walmart and they have nowhere to go. You know, you can just say something with a wink and a smile. You know.
Yeah.
Good night,
I
Tammy.
have
Thank you for stopping in.
I've
Jenny
been
said good
putting
night.
Bible verses on my videos at the
Yeah,
end, you know, when I have the subscribe screen, I had been putting a Bible verse there. And I honestly did it without even giving it any thought. That first time I edited a
yeah,
video, I got to the end of it and I just was feeling so grateful for having finished
that's
it.
right.
It was a super short video. And so I was like, you know, in my frame of mind, feeling so grateful in the moment, I just put the Bible verse up there.
Yeah, and
And it felt like the right thing to
yep,
do.
don't ever apologize for it because somebody might unsubscribe because they don't want God in their face. Okay, fine, unsubscribe. You know, birds of a feather flock together, right? The Bible says to be
Mhm.
together with like minded people. So, you know, you'll lose a subscriber. Who cares? Because you'll have the real people that love the Lord and love you and love the Lord. Like minded people will stay with you, they'll find you.
Yeah. And so I've continued, you know, that I think I might have 3 videos and they're all hauls. I promise you guys, I'm not only going to be doing hauls, but you know how it is. You find a new hobby. You're, well, they're not all hauls. A couple of them are like, I tend to find bargains. And so sometimes when I find a bargain, I want to post it so that other people can get it. Like just yesterday, I didn't end up doing a video for this one, but my favorite alcohol markers are these. These are Copic, but I have been buying less expensive alcohol markers recently to use in coloring books because I just wasn't sure how, you know, if it would do anything to my markers, and I don't want to do anything to my Copics. But what I came across last night was a set of alcohol markers. It was 120 colors with a brush tip and a chisel tip, just like what the Copic has, for $16 for 120 alcohol markers. And I wanted
Oh,
so
wow.
bad. Yeah, if I wouldn't have been so sleepy, I would have tried to post it, but I'm so slow in terms of still learning how to edit and stuff, and I didn't have the energy to post it. But let me share with you guys right now while I'm on here the brand name of uh the hold on, let me look at my Amazon really quick because I ordered it because I was like, oh yeah, let me get those. I seem to be collecting inexpensive alcohol markers now. um it was, hold on, let me see, because it was something else, another brand that I had purchased some acrylic markers from this same brand, and they were really inexpensive and they turned out to be really nice. And so I don't know what, I guess because I had bought that, then Amazon showed me their alcohol markers, and it's called Nicety, Nicety,
Uh-huh.
and they have 120. Let me see if it's still on sale.
Wait a minute.
120.
We have a coloring with Annie in the chat. Does anybody know coloring with Annie?
Uh-uh.
I
I don't
missed it.
see it. I don't see it.
Check that
Annie.
one out.
Oh, maybe she's talking to you. I don't know. Okay. Maybe yeah.
I
Oh,
don't know. Could
coloring
be.
with Annie. Oh, I missed that
Yeah, me
completely.
too.
Hi.
Who
Okay, I'm
knows?
gonna show you guys
I'll check it
the
out. See if it's real. It might be a troll. You see what I'm saying? Who knows?
it's
I'll check it out. But can I answer? Am I going to cut off your thought?
no,
Taylor
no,
had
you
a
go ahead because
question.
I'm trying to find it to see if it's still
Okay,
$16.
yeah, you find that. I'll answer Taylor. I was waiting for a break. Okay, so Miss Taylor, you said, do you think I need to start a new channel for coloring? Okay, what is your channel? Well, if you want to color, Taylor, yes, start a new channel like Coloring with Taylor or something like that. Because right now your name is Taylor Made 651 Hair Studio. So I'm gonna think, hey, Taylor's a hairdresser. Are you a hairdresser? So if you want to color, I would definitely have one channel for business and one channel for pleasure. That's how I do it. So does that answer your question?
I,
So
so I, I found it. So
go
here
ahead.
here it is, you guys. The markers. Uh-oh. Look, now my phone, it doesn't want to cooperate. It's camera shy.
So let me answer Taylor. Taylor said she's retired from hairdressing. So either take your channel and change the name or start another channel. See, with me, it just happens naturally. Diamond painting, card making, and coloring. But you do have to still be organized if you're going to keep all that on the same channel. I also like to do devotionals, but I think if I could grow the other channel, the Women's Christian Temperance Union, I'm going to do all my prayers and all my devotionals on the other channel. But I like doing my devotionals, so I'm keeping it here for now. But you can have multi stuff. You just got to be organized with it. But if you're going to have that name, Hair Studio, that has nothing to do with crafting. So, you know, what do you
I
think? What do you think, Ivy?
I don't I
What do you
don't
think,
know.
Chad? Do
I
you
do think
agree,
that
disagree?
it might make it easier if you did um have it connected to kind of what your interest is, because I think people have an idea right off the bat what they're getting when they come to hang out with you.
Yeah.
Oh, here are the markers. I think that would be a good idea. Okay,
And
I hope that you guys can see this. So, can you
that's
see this? It's
bring it down a
nice,
little. Yeah, there we go.
and it comes with the case. It's 120 markers. They're not organized by color, but you can do that. But look at this. So it's $36.99. It's 10% off. That's what the green says. And it's an additional 50% off. You see that?
Uh huh.
So when you have the 10% off and the 50% off, you get it for $16 for 120 alcohol markers. And they have a brush tip and a bullet tip. I think if you can see those,
Yes.
brush tip and a chisel tip.
Yes.
I thought that was a phenomenal deal. So I got some because I was like, I can use those in my coloring books at least until I figure out about using my Copic markers in a coloring book. But I I love to share deals. So that's another thing on if you look at my videos, sometimes it might just be something phenomenal that I came across, and I want other people. If maybe you've been in the market for something and you're not sure if you want to really invest a lot of money in alcohol markers, hey, here's some you could get for $16.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, even with you, Ivy, right? You like to share. So, guys, if you're doing more than one thing, okay, like even Ivy, she crafts, but she said she likes to share deals. So that's great. Share your deals, right? You do you, boo. But organize your playlist. Organize your playlist. Make sure you have a deal playlist. So when
That's what I need to do.
yeah,
That's a good
so
idea.
when people come to your channel, they'll be like, "Oh, I know the Ivy colors, and I know the Ivy does this." But she said something about deals, so we could go click on your playlist, and we'll see the deals. See,
That's a good point.
that's
Yeah.
what I do. I actually have coloring, diamond painting, card making, devotionals, and Ask a Nurse. But if you go to my playlist, let's say you wanted to listen to all the medical stuff, click on the Ask a Nurse playlist because we are other things outside of our lives. We are other things outside of crafting, right? And I
Yeah.
like nursing. I like that. Like I'm not going to sit here and put a whole tutoring lesson together, but I might tell you how the hip bone's connected to the femur, something simple, and or tell you here's what you eat if you have cancer, or I love you guys asking me your medical questions. I like to answer them. So that's what you could do if you're doing more than one thing. Taylor, I was just thinking, if you have hair, nothing, nothing in your title right now tells me that you craft. But you could keep your channel about hair and make a crafting playlist. You know, your channel needs to reflect you. You know, your
I
channel
think
needs
that
to
that
reflect
is
you.
good advice. Yeah.
Ivy, I totally loved yours. Ivy Pearl Clever Swirl. That's so cute. Linda B,
Thank you.
You need to get on the train. You need to hop on board. Get yourself a picture, a profile pic. But I've always told Linda B that. You know why, Linda? I always joke around like that because I went to make a channel. What do you call it? Thumbnail, and Linda just had that. Look at Linda. No, and she had that plain L. So
It's like,
yeah,
mm-mm. She's in witness protection.
right. And
No,
guys, yeah,
no thumbnail.
and if you got, listen, I'm not. Don't be like me. Like, don't be a zealot. When I was a little kid, we knocked on doors and choked people to come to church. You don't have to do that. Just be you, and people will just, love you for you. If you love Jesus, let people know that, you know. But don't
Mm-hmm.
be like, oh, you're getting blocked because, no,
Mm-mm.
if
Mm-mm.
you don't
This
love
is
Jesus,
one thing
block. No.
that I know for me. I try to find out from God, God, is this an assignment for me? Because sometimes people will cross my path and I will be tempted to share something or say something or, offer something up. And I try my best to just check in with God and say, God, is this an assignment for me? Like, is this even something that you have for me to do or say? And there have been times where I've been, cleared, to say, yeah, I want you to share this information. And
Yeah.
there have been times though where I have heard very clearly from the Lord, nope, not your assignment. And you know
Yeah,
what? When it's not my assignment, I don't get into it.
exactly. Yeah. And you know what, guys? Somebody might come to your channel and say something off color and think that's funny. I think it's disrespectful. So something like that, you just tell them once. But
Yeah.
some people will go right to blocking. People that you don't know need to know your rules. Because
Yeah.
we are a light in a dark world. Where a dark world's going to act dark. They need to know where the rule, what the rules are. Like,
Mhm.
so if like, for example, if a guy comes in and says, "Hey, will you be my friend? I like your shirt. Can you get closer to the camera?" Well, that now he's getting a little stupid, right? But don't just like automatically block him. Just tell him it's disrespectful, and either they're going to conform to you, and if they do it again, then block them. But give them a chance because they might come around to you.
Mhm. That is so true. It's
Because
almost kind of like dating, you don't have to be mean to everybody, but you have to be very clear about what your standards are and what your rules are.
Right.
And the ones who are willing to abide by that, they do. And the ones who aren't,
Well,
not your problem.
because don't forget this is social media and you are on a public platform. So, and they might be feeling good on a Friday night. Maybe they smoked a little pot, drank a little beer, and they're coming in here high, right? Well, if you're going to act like that, you need to leave, but you have to tell them. And, maybe they'll straighten up and fight right, and you can actually win them to Christ that way.
Yep. Yep.
Or because they're drinking for a reason, right? They're
Yep.
doing pot for a reason. They're hurting.
And sometimes when they say something off color, it's a cry for help, honestly.
Mhm.
Sometimes they are looking to engage. And if you give them back negativity, then that feeds a certain thing in them. But if you give them the unexpected, if you give love when they don't deserve it, it's something about that pricks the heart, because they know what they deserve. They know when they came in and they're acted a certain type of way, and they know what they really deserve. But if you don't give them what they deserve, it's like, what? Wait, what's this thing? That's something different. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Well, I don't know. I don't think Joe minds me that's me and Joe are friends. Right now, Joe is quite a character if you go to his channel, but he always comes in here and he's very respectful and we have good conversation. You know. So
Hmm.
Mary's Life Channel says, I gave the person 3 chances. Is that 33 chances or 3 chances before I blocked them? Yes, 3 chances. That's my thing too. The Trinity, God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. 3 chances, boom. Three
Give them a
chances,
chance to
3 days,
act
3 hours.
appropriate.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good. And then, yeah, because also you don't owe anyone access to you, right? If they're gonna continue or persist in a certain behavior,
yeah.
you
And the
don't
thing is,
owe them.
yes. And guess what? If they're going to continue and persist in a certain behavior, I don't know if you guys know, but there's like certain words you could block that. So if they can't say swear words and stuff, I don't know if you know how to do that.
Oh, I didn't know
Um,
that.
yes, I could show you that sometime. But anyway, yeah. So like if they come in swearing, you can block swear words. And also too, there's a community for everybody, right? So if you're gonna come in here and be an ass, this is not the community for you. But so they'll leave, and they will go find a butt community. You know what I mean? Because
They will
birds of
find
a feather flock together, right?
they will
So
find their tribe,
yes,
basically.
birds of a
Yeah.
feather. There's a tribe for everybody, negative or positive. We just choose to be positive. We just choose to be.
Yeah.
We just choose to be Team Jesus.
Yes. I really want for everyone to get on board, but I'm mindful that the Bible says that not everyone is gonna heed the call. People are free ultimately to
Yeah,
not choose God,
right,
and God honors their choice. Who am I, you
right.
know?
Yes,
So
we
I
we
if
had we had that in Bible study. Yeah, that
yeah.
Christ died for everyone. He is for everyone. Yes, but can we let everyone in our community? No, not if they're not going to accept our, way we run the community, right? Not if they don't.
Mhm.
That's their choice. Christ did
Yep.
die for everyone, but not everyone's going to be Team Jesus. That's
People are
okay.
going to reject him. There are going to be those people. They get to make that choice. And
Yep.
as much as it hurts my heart, it doesn't hurt me more than it hurts God. And he still honors their choice, you know? And so I'm just like, okay, but I do know also that the word is powerful. So the people that God assigns to me, I just trust and believe because his word says it, that the word doesn't return void. And if God has given me an assignment to share something or say something, I know that he's going to do the work on that person's heart. And my part is just to obey,
Right.
But I had to, I was telling you earlier, I was so zealous early on, but I had to make peace with trusting that God will do the work. Whoever He's assigned for me to share with, He's got it. He's got it from there. He knows. He will
Well,
continue
don't
to bring
forget,
people.
Ivy. Well, don't forget, he doesn't, just be you. Like I make
Yeah,
my shorts. There's nobody particular I have in mind. I just like
yeah,
put a Bible verse with a pretty picture and then a beautiful song. You know.
yeah. I'm gonna have to get more into kind of making the shorts. I have, I think, one because I did a Crayola challenge,
Yes. Yes.
and that was a lot of fun because I hadn't picked up a Crayola in God, I don't even know how long. Um, but I liked it. It was a lot of fun, and I ended up buying some more Crayolas after that. But
Well,
but the
you can get.
shorts, you were saying that that's a way to get
Well, you'll
views
get
and
the views.
engagement
You'll
with
get the
people.
yeah, yeah. And if they don't like it, they'll swipe away. But if people do love the Lord, they'll be like, "Hey, that was uplifting. What's this channel about?" You know.
Mhm. I like that too. I have found for myself as well when I have come across someone sharing something inspirational. I have really been ministered to by certain things that I come across. So yeah, I should share those things as well.
Yeah, and don't forget the Bible says that yes, he trains the pastor or the leader or whatever, but the Lord says he uses the common people more than the trained
Mhm.
person. So and we're all in this together. And in this day and age, the way life is right now, we can all use some prayer, girl.
Mhm.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Yeah, prayer. I mean,
Mhm.
it's scary me.
I'm trying to think of what color to make this rug and this cat.
See,
You
I
guys
need to
got any
work. Yes,
ideas?
I need to work more with stamps. Look how cute that is. Yes, it's a little dark. How about
So
uh,
maybe
how
like a
about a bright
bright,
color like a bright like a red. Uh,
like,
You know,
oh, that would be good. Okay,
like
let
a
me
red.
see.
Like I see a lot of in cartoons. There's a lot of red carpets in cartoons. Prayer and
Let's
love, lady.
see.
Yeah. Listen, where I live, we have a sanctuary. It's a sanctuary city, and so I craft with the community. But unfortunately, like places like the library and the family success center, the government don't care about that. They're losing their funding.
I
And
heard that
yeah,
too.
and on top of that, we have ICE running around here. We have ICE running around here, arresting the Mexicans or whatever
Wow.
in the dollar stores. So, like, if
Wow.
they get messed with at the dollar store, somebody's not going to have daddy tonight. I really
Wow.
listen. I'm sorry this is happening to you, but I really don't. I think they should have more empathy the way they're doing it. I can only do my
Yeah.
part. I can only do my part and make a video about, go be with your family wherever you go, because you're here illegal, right? Wherever you go, keep your family with you because ICE is coming. That's my message.
And you got to be prepared and mindful of the circumstance that we have right now, right? And
Yeah,
be
but
prepared.
yeah, guys, watch my video. It says, ICE in Richmond or something. I'm not going to get into it right now. It's a little political, but people are asking for me to pray. Well, what's my prayer going to be? Oh, dear Lord, protect Jose because he's here illegal. He didn't follow the law. Now, you give Jose some good advice and tell him that stay with his family and you pray with him. That will God. Just watch the video, but it's very sad. You know.
Honestly, these days, I have to really curate my news because if you just sit down, well, for me, I take it a la carte, right? I've always wanted to stay informed, But right now, if I just sit down and try to
Yeah,
digest 2 hours worth of news, it is so sad. It is very difficult for me to digest large chunks of news. I may sit down and digest about 30 to 45 minutes worth of news, and then I have to take a little break. And then maybe a little bit later in the evening, I'll digest another 30, 45 minutes worth of news. Because what I'm noticing is that if you sit down for just news programming, segment after segment after segment is incredibly discouraging. And so
yeah,
I'm trying to be wise and understanding and know what's happening, but I'm also trying to be mindful of how much negativity I'm taking in
right.
right now. And it's a lot, I'm telling you. And it feels, but I always feel like God has always told us in Romans, hope makes us not ashamed. So even
Uh-huh.
in the worst of circumstances, we have hope as a mechanism for helping us get through. And so I'm protective of my peace of mind. I want to be wise, I want to know, but I'm not going to have a deluge of negativity all in one bite. You know what I mean? It's like eating a meal that's just too rich, and in the end, there's a consequence of it. So I have to break that stuff up because there is something on every front. When you look at schools, when you look at healthcare, when you look at roads, when you look at the weather, when you look at when you look at all of it, the way that it's reported, there
It's too
the
much.
nuggets of good news, there's no good news in the report, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
and,
Jesus,
and that's,
Jesus,
you know,
help us.
and that's part of the problem I'm having is, I craft with this community, right? So, like, I don't know what to tell you, right? So, guys, if you guys write this Bible verse down, Jeremiah 29:11. All right, that's a good verse to
Yes,
share with
Lord.
anybody, good and bad. It says, "For I know the plans I have for you," says the Lord. All right, plans to prosper you and not harm. That's a good verse when someone says, "Pray for me,"
Yes,
when ice is running down the street, right? Plans to prosper
yes,
you and not harm. Plans of hope and a future. All right, you wanted to come to America, but maybe that wasn't God's will for you to come to America. Maybe God wants you to make your country great, not America. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
It's such a
mm-hmm.
good verse, good or bad, because it says everything.
And
Plans.
a lot of times things happen, and sometimes it is a consequence, a natural consequence, not a punishment necessarily, but maybe we've moved or done something that we weren't meant to do, like you said.
Yeah,
And I have had moments where God has corrected me through a series of uncomfortable circumstances. But usually, whenever I reflect on that, something is happening in me in my life where I've usually gotten more distant than I need to be. I've not been as faithful in my spending my time with him and in his word, or I've been flat out disobedient, about something that
uh-huh.
he's told me to do. I have, because sometimes disobedience can be outright, but disobedience can take many forms. So, disobedience sometimes for me has been in the form of delay. Okay, God, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm not saying no, but sometimes delay is disobedient, ma'am. If you know and you're clear that it's God's leading or urging for you, then yeah, you need to obey, and you need to obey quickly. You need to be expedient about what you do. But God will do things that are uncomfortable to bring correction for me. And
Yeah,
every time in hindsight, though, every single time, I'm grateful. Every time. Now, in the valley, I feel like, God, I'm in the valley. I'm gonna need some help. This is not comfortable, whatever it is. But in the end, it all works together
yeah,
for
I
my
agree with you.
good.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
Uh,
I just,
and
I,
that's why I make my shorts. I made a short. Your enemy, what your enemy meant for evil, God meant for good, because somebody's picking on me right now, right? But
Mm-hmm.
what they mean for evil, God means for good. So like ice is bad to the Mexicans right now, right? Ice is bad. So
Mm-hmm.
you could say ice is bad, right? But it is what it is, and God will bless you. God means it for good.
Mm-hmm. Even when it feels like it's not going to work out, it will work in the direction of God's purpose and plan.
Right.
It will. It has no choice but to work in the direction of God's purpose and plan. And to the extent that it's all working in that direction, all I can say is thank you, Lord. You know,
Yep.
thank you, Lord, no matter how it might look. Because there have been things God has protected me from that absolutely didn't feel like protection. I always tell this story. There was a job I wanted super bad, okay? And I had not had the experience of not getting a job that I wanted, really bad. So um it was all working out great, I was getting the interviews and the second interviews, and they were taking me to lunch, and this was looking fantastic, right? This is going to work out. But then after all of the lunches and all of that, I just didn't hear anything back, right? And I was like, Lord, what's happening? I'm praying about it, and they just did not call. And so I eventually took another position, but I still was like, dang it, I just don't get it, right? So I'm trying to
Uh-huh.
play things back. And when I tell you that it was God's protection, absolutely, which is why I trust him so, because within 6 months to the day, that company stopped existing. And it was 100-year-old company.
Oh wow.
But only God knew that, right? So it didn't feel good in the moment. I felt like, well, God, I've done the right things and I should get this. And surely they're going to call because I've got to be, whatever. But it was God's protection because he knows. So no matter
He
how it
knows. Yeah.
feels in the moment, 6 months later, the whole community was like, can you believe that company is not there? Can you believe? Because nobody saw that coming,
Wow.
and only God. And so I trust him. I trust him. Even when I don't understand, I trust him.
Hmm.
I have too many experiences of him being great. I have too many experiences of him protecting me, of him, and if I just do my part, which is really just obey.
Cause that obey. Wow.
Yes, if I do my part, then I'm good, right? Like if I really do my part, I'm good. And I think you were right. Look, I'm switching topics. I think you were right about the
Wow.
pillow.
Look
Look at
how.
that.
Yeah, girl. Beautiful. See.
That was a good idea.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
going to
you.
cut her out because
I
I've got
also.
the,
Yeah. You're the domesticator. I also do that with my food plate. Like the chicken's white, the rice is white, the biscuits white. It needs. We put some cranberry sauce on there and green beans.
I
you
have
know.
never thought about that. I have never once really thought about that, but that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It'll make the plate look better. It'll probably taste
Let's
better.
put some corn over here and some cranberry sauce over here and some green beans because things are white. you know?
That is a good That is something I had not thought about. I do think about my plate in terms of making sure there's some sort of vegetable, but honestly, yeah, because sometimes the vegetable is even beige. Think about
Yes,
it. If you put
yes.
your plate together and you put some
You're,
cauliflower, it still looks boring.
yeah, my food is a work of art. That's why I make shorts out of it, Ivy, okay?
Listen, I get it. I get it. I see what you're
Ivy's like,
doing.
why do people post their dinner?
Well, I didn't get it. I really didn't because honestly, I'm telling you, I feel like when I see you, I feel like this is how the conversation will go. This is part of why I stayed off of social media because I don't want to see the posts. Because when I see you, I'm going to be like, oh, how was that? How were those pancakes that you had? Or how was it? I want you to be able
right?
to tell me. I
Right?
want you to be able to tell me something when we see each other. I hope I line this up right so I can cut this out. This would have made a good card. Honestly, I should have matched her clothes up to my little card. because she makes the card nice. But I didn't think about it until now. Let me see if
what
she
card?
coordinates.
What you have on the table?
Yeah, because think about this.
Let
She
me
could
see.
be.
Let me see. Put her on there. She still looks good. Yeah.
She could be on there, right?
Yeah, she still looks good on there.
I just gotta finish coloring her because I gotta do some shading, and I think she's got crochet hooks in her hair. I'm gonna make those gold. I think. Let me get a gold pin out.
Okay, so
that's cute, right?
Yeah, that looks adorable. So Linda says, "I know that song. It's in my head." When we walk with the Lord in the light of His word, what a glory He sets on our way. That song.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
Is that in the hymnal? That sounds like a hymn.
While we do His good will, He abides with us still, and with all who will trust and obey. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey.
I'm gonna share this, you guys. If you cut adhesive things, these Tim Holtz scissors are non-stick.
That's good.
You can cut through the gooeyest things and they will stay clean. So I'm cutting foam tape because I want her to sit up a little bit off of the card.
Right. That's why you have. Where's my those little things. Here, let me make myself. Buy yourself some of these, girl. I'm gonna make myself big real quick. Buy yourself these. Look, see how it sticks up?
I have some of those.
Yeah.
I have some. I use those, but sometimes
the long strips.
If I have a big area, I just break out the big piece because then I can just put a big old one. But
yeah,
I have
too.
those.
Yeah, I have those too. Yeah.
You know that you can buy that big old roll of foam tape at the hardware store too. It's like this big.
I have tape. I have the little circles for something like this, Ivy, for the little ephemeral.
Oh, I wish you guys that I could print out this coloring page or show you on the screen because I think you all, as people who color, would love it. You might already have it actually. The coloring page I was going to put inside, it's from RJ Hampson. He gave away a free coloring page recently.
See, I'm gonna good on there, girl.
She does. I'm still gonna finish coloring her, but I'm gonna stamp a greeting on the inside. Let me see. There are words on here. Wishing you a birthday. Knitting forever, housework whenever. All you knit is love. These are all puns. Knitting
all you knit is love. That's a good one. All you knit is love. What is she doing? What is she doing on the couch?
She's knitting.
Put that one in there. That'll fit.
That's a good one, right? Okay. All you knit is love.
Thank you, Linda B. I have a friend, Linda. Well, I won't say her name, but I guess I can say her name. I'll be doctor. But we called her Linda B. And because you don't have a picture, for all I know, you could be the Linda B that I know. She's a retired registered nurse. Don't
Linda B.
Yeah, we called her Linda B.
All right, I gotta get off of here. I haven't even finished my dinner.
Oh, really? You think, Ivy? It's only been 3 hours.
Listen, time flies when you're having fun.
When you're having fun. I heard somebody say.
You guys, let me say this. This is pivoting, right? Because I came in here thinking I was going to do my first shaker card. That plan went up in flames. But I still got a card at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah. That's a beautiful card, though.
Right? I got something out of it. Plus, I got to hang out in the community and have a good time.
Yeah.
I'm going to be live tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going
Okay,
to
so
do.
we're all gonna come support
Just,
Ivy Earl Clever Swirl.
yeah, if you guys are free, stop by. I'm going to
Do
be
you, do
live
you know? Do
7
you know?
Central.
Do you know how to use StreamYards?
I use Restream. I'm
Okay,
using
the same
StreamYard
thing.
now because that was the link that you sent me.
Okay, but Restream, same thing. That way, if you want a friend up, you could have a friend up when you're ready. I know you might not be ready for that. The chat
You
is
know
one
what
of the
would be
best I watch. Thank you,
what
Mary.
would be good as a coloring card? I didn't think about that, but you could put the stamp that you put on the card
Yes,
inside
inside.
and then they could color it
Yes,
too.
yes. Because that's a good idea. Because here's the thing: what if you send it to a white person?
And then they don't want her to be chocolate. Look.
Oh, that don't matter.
But yeah, they
or his
can like
kid.
if they're a blonde and they want to color the
Yes.
hair different and you could just put that inside.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Put that in there. That's good. And
Tomorrow, you guys, when I go live, I will have sorted out whatever the issue is with this RJ Hampton freebie, and I'm gonna put a link so everybody can download it if they want. I'm
okay.
gonna figure it out because it's a cute picture. If you like RJ Hampton,
Never heard of them.
hey, what I'm doing as I'm collecting all these coloring books and what I'm doing to stop myself is I am not allowing myself to have more than one book by one particular illustrator. I'm
Right.
trying.
Right.
I have two books by Joseph Cadambang. He does the mythographic coloring books, but every other illustrator so far, I only have one of their books. So I'm
Hey,
going to try to keep it at that.
Ivy, don't take it up with me. Take it up with Jesus.
Listen, because I'm getting myself in trouble with this Amazon truck stopping by
Take it up
every
with
day with the
Jesus.
coloring book. I know. Listen, you guys, I had a good time. Good
Yeah,
night,
I did
Taylor. Good
too.
night,
Good night,
Linda. Good night,
Taylor,
Mary.
Mary,
Hey,
Michelle,
you guys, I wanted to tell you I
Chris.
ordered that Bible too. Mary, I think Linda, Taylor, a lot of us have that same Bible. And mine was supposed to be here tomorrow, and they gave me an update that it's delayed because of the weather. I'm sad. I was ready to color. There's an illustrated praise Bible that a lot of us have bought, Annie, and
Oh, that you can color in it, right?
it's got lots of
I've
coloring.
seen that Bible. Yeah.
Yeah, they have different versions. They have like illustrated faith, illustrated praise, illustrated something else. There are like at least three different ones, and they all have different illustrations and different scriptures that they highlight. But the
Uh-huh.
one that we got is illustrated praise, and it's beautiful. Oh God, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it was
Well,
supposed to be delivered overnight, but because of the stupid
but
weather,
here's the thing. I use that Bible with Bible study, and so I'm sitting there coloring while they're Bible studying, and they're like, Annie, are you listening?" I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I love that. It's just beautiful though, and it has Mary was coloring in hers, and then she was in the front of it, and she flipped to the back. And I was like, "Oh my God, it's so nice!" And then Taylor was talking about it, and
Wow, that's good,
I
Taylor.
was just like, "So I've got to get this Bible," and I was not going to get it because this particular version is purple. It has other colors too, but and I was like, "Oh, I'm not going to get it. I want to get a pink or whatever." But it's just so gorgeous. Oh my gosh. And it's got the coloring in it to boot. So yeah. So Taylor, your stuff was delayed too. Oh yeah, they said because I called. Look, I'm not used to not getting my Amazon stuff overnight or in 2 days. And so they said that it was weather. And that I mean it makes sense, but they delayed it several days because it was supposed to be overnight. So I was supposed to get it in the morning. They delayed it to Saturday. Yeah, I'm not gonna get it until Saturday. I don't think.
Yeah, and guys, for those of you after this live is over, can you just put a quick comment in the like Mary's life and Taylor? Make sure that so that I can go and comment on this live so I can go subscribe to your channels. And let's all support each other, okay? Because this was a nice, we all have the same Bibles. We all love the same God. We have a lot in common. So let's keep that ball rolling. And
Yeah.
Michelle, I love you, girl. You know that. Linda B, I love you. Mary
Bye,
Grace, I
Michelle.
love you.
Bye, Linda.
Good night, Chris.
Michelle, do you have a channel too? I'll come and subscribe to your channel too.
She
I
does
think I'm
not.
subscribed to everybody else that has a channel. I know I'm subscribed to Linda and Mary. I don't think I'm subscribed to Taylor. Taylor, do you have videos? I'm sure
That's
I'm
what I
subscribed
said.
to him.
Comment
I've got
on this app live so that we can go all click on your name and go sub to you. So there won't be any question.
I gotta be subscribed to Taylor, but I'm gonna if I'm not, I'm gonna correct that forthwith.
All right. I'm gonna
You
let you
guys
hop
are
down.
awesome.
I'm gonna say goodnight by name to everybody, which might take a minute. And
Okay.
Ivy, I had
Yeah,
a great time. I'm
I did
glad
too.
you accepted my invitation. I really appreciate
Thank
you.
you. Hello Kitty says good night.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Somebody liked Color Kitty. Who liked it? No, it was you. I posted the channel to you.
Yes, yes.
I'm
I
like,
was all over it, but I always have something Hello Kitty nearby. Look.
yeah.
At my big age. But I will see you guys another time. God bless you all.
All right, God bless. I'm gonna say goodnight to Aaron, Chris. Go ahead, you can leave, Pearl. Ivy.
Look, I don't know how to get out. Oh, okay, I see.
Oh, yeah, okay, there you go. All right, good night, Aaron. Good night, Chris. Good night, Linda B. Good night, Kitty. Good night, little wise owl. I love you. Good night. Who else is in here? Oh, Rudy, I missed you. Rudy comes in and tells the time all the time, and I missed him tonight. Sorry, Rudy. Joe Morgan, I'm glad you stopped in. I did say hello while you were here. Who else? Coloring for Wellness. Yeah, she's a nice lady. I said hello to you. Nubia, thank you for coming in, baby. You know I love you. We're friends in real life. Let's see who else. When did the new people start coming in? Where's Tanny? Hello, Michelle. Good night, Michelle. I love you. Let's see. And then Tanny came in at some point. I just want to make sure. Oh, there she is. Taylor, good night. Oh, Taylor, don't forget what I said about making another channel or changing the name of your channel or making playlists, Guys, you guys are a wonderful group of people. You always are. Lizzie. Oh, Jean, yes. Your card is in the mail. What else? I know Tanny. You guys had a nice chat in here. You really chatted to each other. That's nice. All right. Just a couple people at the end there. I guess I got everybody. Tanny and Taylor. Great group of people. Don't forget to comment so we can all subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Good night, guys.